bad. Not bad, right? Good morning. How
If
are
I
you
got here with
today?
a few more minutes to spare,
You wouldn't feel so flustered?
It's the story
It's not
of my
so
life.
bad. Story of your life
I feel like there's a hair
in your long lashes.
that's not attached.
Right.
Good morning.
Oh, it's so nice to be back. The 2 weeks have seemed to zip by. Seems to be the norm. I don't know about you, but it feels like the days are just going so fast.
You know, it's funny because you don't know where the days go, but they're just like
Right.
gone.
I guess if
in a
I stop
blink.
napping and all the other things, not in a million years.
Totally.
Anyway, oh, hello everybody. Good morning, good morning. It is actually beautiful here today. Last time we were complaining about it being minus 40, and now it'll be plus 4 or something crazy this
The
week.
polar vortex did come through, and it was as awful as it sounds.
Yeah, a giant slap to the face. So if anybody else is dealing with that, I feel your pain. I do. It lasted way longer than I hoped.
I'm just so glad it's not
Itchy
here any
nose.
longer.
Anyway, yeah, me too. Totally. Are you
Right?
kidding? I mean, it did give me the permission to kind of just not go anywhere. I really didn't go very many places that I didn't have to, which
You
I
know
kind of
what?
like, but that doesn't,
People hunker down.
yeah. They were saying don't leave if you didn't have to. Your car can break down. There are dangers associated with that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the poor, furnace people and other, technicians were going 24/7. It was extreme weather. And
Okay,
it's history,
so
thank goodness.
Some of the nights at the end got to very close to minus 50 Celsius with the wind chill. And now we were +1 yesterday.
I know. We live in a weird...
Like in a matter of days, it was a 50-degree swing.
Yeah, I know. It's bizarre. We are known to have very fickle weather, but that's very extreme.
The only positive I can swing,
Jodi.
the only thing is we know how to dress if we need to go in it. And we're knitters.
I was going to say, I have a cupboard full of wool, sweaters, socks, cowls, you name it. And it does make you feel like, okay, I've been doing this for a reason. I have been preparing for the snowpocalypse.
I wallpapered.
What?
One of Jordan's walls.
It's pretty fun, isn't it?
It's I've done peel and stick.
Yeah. That's not fun, I don't think.
I've done where you dip it in water to activate the back of the
In
adhesive.
1942.
No, that's good. You can get.
I did like it.
But then this one was the paste on the wall. Put the dry wallpaper.
Oh no, I've
up.
never done that. I actually like regular wallpaper where you liquid activate the glue.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. So how did it go?
I mean, perfect. But no, not perfect. But it looks amazing. It's worth the fussiness.
So, but you'll get the same result from the rolling it through the water.
It's the exact same thing, just two different ways to get the glue. I prefer not having to paint the glue on.
Right.
But it looks really, really good.
I love a little home improvement project.
Listen, and you don't get, if you want to do a stencil, you go for it. But I feel like you can't get the look of wallpaper without wallpaper.
I know.
If that makes any sense.
Well, I mean, so much more work if you're going to paint small, whatever, kind of a picture on your wall. I love the gratification. I feel like so many of those little projects are not as hard as you think.
2 hours.
And now with all the YouTube channels, you're going to get someone that'll show you how to do it.
Exactly.
And it really is not as hard as you think. And it's so rewarding. I love that. I would still love to do my powder room upstairs. It's a tiny little bathroom.
That's the best room because it's small.
It's best
Patches
and worst.
True. To work around it.
Tight quarters and a lot of little cornery areas, right? And remove the toilet and all of that stuff. So
this was one flat wall with one window.
Kind of like a dream project.
And one plug.
Yeah.
to cut around.
The last
Anyway,
time we did it was peel and stick, and I would say not my favorite.
no.
You think it sounds great? Oh my gosh, I'll just slap it on, like it's just done, just like that. But I did not find it as easy
There's
to
no
like
sliding
maneuver.
and
Yeah.
maneuvering it. Yeah.
So if I
Okay.
had to like rank them, I would say good old school. You know, where you activate the glue's on the
Yeah.
paper and you just have to activate it.
I'm gonna see if I can get a photo.
Okay. And so Jordan has lovely, beautiful taste. Did she go color
Pink.
or oh, she went pink.
Yeah.
And her room is quite like neutral all right now. Right?
No, it was quite pink.
Like what kind of pink?
Soft cotton candy pink.
Okay.
It's just gonna take me.
I'll just have my coffee.
So, I'm FaceTiming her. I didn't mean to do that. You know how? Okay, there's this overall, like I think it's a design aesthetic called, is it coquette? Where
I
it's
don't know.
like pink bows, little rosebuds.
Oh,
it's
maybe.
all like, I don't know if I'm saying the name right. She did a funny little video of the cats the other day.
Oh, okay.
So, and it was behind the cats.
So now it's a super pink bedroom. Why did I think her room was like pale, creamy with like gray, like it was super neutral? Was that before?
That could have been quite a bit
Yeah,
ago, but
yeah.
now she's gone her closet doors and her, like, it's got the little diamond pulls.
Yeah. No, it reminds me of like a girly girl room kind of. I don't know why I
I'm
would
gonna
say it like that.
Send me a pic of the wallpaper.
But that pale pink. Well, I'm glad she loves
It's pretty. It's fun. It's one of those projects that start to finish was 2 hours.
it. Love it.
We did it together, and it was quick.
Love it. Yay, you.
Yeah, it was fun.
You could
I've
be a
been
prof-
knitting.
Have you
I've
been?
been knitting.
Well, good. I can't wait. I'm actually so excited to be back here. I
am
feel
too.
like we've had an educational couple of weeks.
Mhm.
We had a really fun Instagram live last week that I want to shout out again because I hope people will go watch it that maybe didn't catch it. And yeah, just lots of fun things to talk about.
Wonder if more people can.
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
Do you?
Not really, but it's funny.
It
To
is
me, it's
funny.
funny. Okay, but yes,
Oh.
the 2 weeks always flies by.
It does.
I have some really fun stuff to show.
Good.
Listen, I wish I had
Listen,
more
who?
to talk about.
Listen, Linda.
I wish I had more fun stuff to talk about. What else is happening?
Honestly, here's the big thing, and I want to say this right off the get-go. Anyway, our Fiber Folk
Yes.
retreat is next week. So yes, there's some super fun things we're doing to get ready for that. That's in Canmore. But there is a afternoon mini marketplace at the Hotel Malcolm, or the Malcolm Hotel in Canmore, that is open to the public. And so I really wanted to make sure that everybody knew about that.
Come visit us.
You can come and see all of the amazing vendors. It's February 3rd, so that's Saturday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. And you can check out our Instagram page. You will see all the vendors. Stash Lounge from Calgary is coming. Ancient Arts Yarn, Ginger Snap Yarns, Ocean Loops, Your Next Knit Yarn Store. Smita will be there. Numana Yarns and Orange Avocado Jewelry will be there.
All of our really fun bracelets, our jewelry collab. They said they were going to have some of our collab jewelry.
Great. So it's a really fun way for, if you're local, to come join us. It's going to be all of the retreat attendees and all of that, and
Those
it'll be great.
Spark bracelets. They're calling them Spark, but it's those little permanent jewelry
Yeah.
bracelets that they do a little
I think
solder
I'd
on.
need to get one. That's what I think what I'm going to get, at least.
Yeah, is that all?
That's where I'm going to start anyway. But I'm so excited because it's so close to Calgary, Canmore. So maybe people want to come up for the day and have lunch in town and then wander over to the Malcolm and do a little bit of shopping.
I love that.
Yeah, it'll be a really fun day. And the weather, this was the thing I was really a little concerned about, and we have no control over. I didn't want the weather to be -1 million so that people didn't feel like they could go explore or go for a walk and comfortable-ish weather. We are getting dream weather for that weekend.
What's it gonna be?
Like between -4 and +5 or something. Like it's crazy, beautiful, beautiful weather. So we'll be ready for it, if it gets cold, but it's going to be really, really lovely weather for people that maybe not used to winters, because there's a lot of people coming in and traveling to this.
I love that.
I'm so
much.
excited. So excited.
We didn't say any good mornings to anybody. How is everybody? Did everyone have a good 2 weeks? We're through like the end of the year crazy hustle and bustle.
We're
I
almost
feel like
through January.
listen,
What?
February is next week.
I know. I literally cannot even. I don't know where the month went.
Those people that coin the terms stop and smell the roses. It's the little things in life, slow down, all that stuff. It couldn't be more true.
Like, it's a cliche for a reason. It really is so true.
Because listen, in a blink, life is past or dead. Not quite.
Wow.
But do you know what I mean? Like
Happy Thursday,
it
everybody.
blinks and it felt like it was just September.
I know. Time flies. And I'm sure it always felt that way, but it does seem more so. But
Okay. Look at Vogue Knitting Live. New York is this
how
weekend.
exciting.
Anybody in the area or traveling too, it's a giant event. We are
I
jelly.
always have FOMO. I always have FOMO for this one.
There are there's so many people that gather. The amazing instructors.
So
Amy is doing an amazing keynote speak.
Amy of La Bien-Aimée.
Yeah.
She is telling her whole story, like her whole fiber story through, and
I
it's
love that.
the bits that we know of it. It's so interesting. She is such a good speaker. The knits that she's going to incorporate
And Nala
into that.
is introducing her and asking her questions.
Yeah. Anyway, Hohi's there.
I know.
So many. I saw Sari Nordland was going to be. I mean, literally a gigantic list.
These events are just so fun if you can ever go, if there's ever one local, but not necessarily this, but in events in general, just to be able to gather and sit and make with other people and just,
Yeah, just even to wander. But the thing I really love about the Vogue Knitting one, I've never been to a Vogue Knitting event, but the fashion show. There's that other element of, yes, it's a fabulous celebration of fiber arts, but also in fashion sense, as well as the making and learning and all of that stuff. So we'll have to go one day.
it's
It will
in
happen.
Times Square. Like we would just be like these dumbfounded tourists with giant eyes, just like, do I look at yarn or do I look at Broadway? Do I look at right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's got to happen. I think part of the reason it doesn't is because that time of year, I don't know, we just never we feel exhausted after the holiday season. So we really never plan on traveling right after that. But it
feel
is like
this
a month after.
I was actually thinking, and maybe in years past it's closer like to mid. This feels later. Like I could have gotten on a plane.
I know, I could have gotten on a plane too.
Anyway, we wish you a really amazing show. And we
Yes.
always watch on Instagram. We follow the hashtag. We see everyone's posts and the fun things that happen.
Totally.
Yeah.
You can go support your makers that you love and see them in person. That is there's nothing like seeing yarn in person or learning from this designer you love in person. Like these kind of events are really amazing. I mean,
Tori Knits
yes.
burnt her hand
saw.
with boiling water.
No, it wasn't her.
Who was that?
It was. Am I wrong? Just a sec.
She's teaching there.
I don't think it was her.
Mm.
I think it was Stone Knits, right?
Was her name
And
Tori?
she
I don't
comes
know.
from.
She's a teacher.
Oops. Yes, she's an amazing
Okay.
designer. She was in. Oh no, it's not Stone Knits.
Anyway, I felt
I'm
terrible.
so stupid.
Salt and Stone.
Salt and Stone. Okay, I knew there was some kind of stone. Yes.
Thank you, Kitty.
Yes, and so she's a designer
Yeah.
that came over from the Netherlands. I think she's Mika. So anyway, poor Mika. We're sending well wishes to you. Look at that. And of course, she's teaching all kinds of things.
I apologize.
She's a
For
cute-
some reason, I saw this sweater and thought instantly, oh, that's her. Okay,
No,
my
poor
bad.
thing.
But
Poor thing.
terrible. Terrible,
Um,
terrible.
totally. But you know what? People have come to the rescue. So she's now got other designers and knitters helping her do those hands-on things in her class. So the classes are going, which is amazing.
You know, I swear this community comes together at the drop of a hat when
Right?
someone is in need,
Yeah.
or we need to come together for whatever reason, happy or sad. I'm just so proud to be part of this community.
Yeah. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, and what a story. Oh, look, she's actually doing a live on the Vogue Knitting Instagram
so
page.
cute.
So, yeah, her designs are beautiful. And she was in Knit Stars as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I love her designs. So very, very sad news, but she always has these amazing smiles and perkiness. And anyway,
We would love to wish Jude, our friend from Stranded Dyeworks, well wishes on his next adventure.
yeah, closing Stranded Diary. I'm sure that wasn't an easy decision, but like you said, life goes quickly, is from what I was listening to him say. And it was like, you know what? I just feel this is the right choice for me right now. And we're totally sending our best wishes
Listen,
for whatever you choose to go, whatever road you go down. Who knows, right?
he's had such a tough struggle.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's pivoting and moving on to what brings him
Totally.
joy. I remember flamingo legs.
Totally.
That color is iconic.
Well, so many of his colors are just unbelievable. But, and he also said, you know what? Never say never. It's just like closing down.
Right now.
Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe one day he'll be back in the dye pots. But honestly, I love, that whole mentality of, I just need to do this for me right now. I know I need to do it. And even though it's a big change and maybe a scary change, we're just going to do it. So I love that.
Good.
Yeah. So yes, of course, much love out that way for Jude on this big deal. It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
Well, I thought it'd be really fun to start the day with continuing our conversation we had.
Or the redo?
No, not a redo.
No.
I don't think it's a redo at all.
I don't think it needs to be a redo either. I feel like, listen, after the conversation and some really beautiful people making some comments and letting us know that maybe you'd like to look at this or this is the way to think about it, I am so grateful. I've learned so much about size inclusivity patterns.
Totally. And I feel like, here's the deal. We were talking about a designer and a sweater we love. Kept saying, love the designer, love the sweater. Anyway, but we're passionate about size inclusivity. We love, and so many designers are designing within this size range to include lots of body sizes and shapes. And that's such a good thing. And it totally matters. But we were having a conversation as people that don't design garments and our limited knowledge of that. We were like, I don't think this is size inclusive. And then got a little annoyed, right?
The only misstep, and from the very first day we started this podcast almost 8 years ago, that we knew if there wasn't something we love and supported, we just weren't going to include it.
Listen, that's what I want to say right now from the get-go, just to be clear from our own mouths. The intention of that conversation was, for us, discussing something positive, which is size inclusivity. And if that designer or any designer ever heard that conversation and felt maligned or disrespected in any way, we sincerely apologize. That is not who we are. That is not who we've ever been. And that is not what this YouTube channel will ever do.
Yeah.
We will never highlight something to bring it in a negative light. That is not who we are. But to me, it was almost a gift to have that conversation. We love being unfiltered. We love not planning these things. So we're having this conversation just as if we were sitting on the couch at home by ourselves. So the gift of that conversation to me was the curiosity and to continue asking the question. So we decided that a pattern that included 10 inches of positive ease and then 5 for the last few sizes at the end, the largest sizes. We thought that was not size inclusive, even though it graded up to a 60-inch bust, but we was only giving them, say, 4 or 5 inches. And it's just, let's just use that as a general example. So we were like, not size inclusive. But the next day, like we just kept saying, I think we could be missing something, right? We just don't know. So I did reach out, send a couple of emails, and we were so fortunate. Kim McBrien Evans is an amazing designer, teacher. She's Indigo Dragonfly Yarn. And I just happened to quickly chat with her in the DMs and say, would you be open to me sending you an email? Because I have a question and it's totally driving me crazy. And I've searched, I don't know how to find the answer to this. And she was like, absolutely, drop me a line. And it was exactly that question. Is a pattern that grades like this and only gives, say half the ease or whatever, a much
or
smaller,
less, a lot of times
or less, is that considered size inclusive? And she clued me in and said, you know what? Because the designer actually says right there, this is my intention, and it is graded up to that size. Yes, it is size inclusive. And I was like, oh, who knew?
Let me just say this, though. That is obviously any designer's choice.
It is an artistic choice.
It's an artistic
Yeah.
choice, and I respect that. We adore this designer that we talked about.
Oh my
We will
gosh.
still 100% the design. I, though, as a knitter,
Yeah. Your preference,
my
maybe?
preference would be that I get to pick how much ease
Sure.
are in. I get to decide what that sweater will look on me, not you.
Sure. So actually the email I got back from the designer said this was feedback from their testers. So that they took that feedback where the largest sizes that were being tested, they did not want that amount of ease. So they incorporated that into their design in their way.
Yeah.
So what we learned, or one of the things we learned, was that grading can be something called fixed, which is where across the board everybody gets that size of ease, or something called proportional, which sounds like this style, where it's not exactly the same for every size. And I totally respect designers, and they are artists, right?
Yes.
They're creating a silhouette.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a knitter, you get to decide if it's right or not right for you. I've come across other patterns that have significant amounts of ease, and they give everybody the same amount of ease, and then they say, you may want to choose less ease for a certain reason in a certain size. And it made me stop and think about the way I choose sizes for every sweater I knit. I don't even look at the designer's intended ease. I don't look at the size of the sweater. I just pick the circumference I want, wherever that is in the size range.
I can totally.
So I'm kind of doing that myself.
Yeah.
All the time.
Here's where I go. And listen, everything you've just said and that we've learned this week,
Yeah.
I completely don't disagree. I completely get behind it. I understand where this is coming from. But it strikes a bit of a nerve from a person that's always been in a big size. When someone tells me if you're this bigger size, you shouldn't have this much ease.
And this is where and you can have an opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not saying good or bad.
Yes.
My preference would always be, as the maker, getting to choose that for ourselves.
I'm like, you don't get to send.
Right. So I 100% think. And is that not why we make our own clothes? Because so we can decide for ourselves?
It's all of that and more.
So I feel like this conversation it's not about pointing fingers and saying
No.
so-and-so's not. It's more about learning. I mean, I don't know if anybody else cares or wants to learn about this kind of stuff, but it is interesting to me to sort of get a peek behind the curtain as to how a designer may look at bodies and how they're going to create a garment to fit. I just think it's a huge thing to make a design, and then all of a sudden you're tasked with, how do I make this look really well across the board?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a huge it's a huge undertaking.
Well, and we know we're educated people. We understand when we've maybe misspoken or need more information.
Or just are plain wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
It's okay to be wrong. I don't think we were totally wrong, but I feel like we didn't have all the information.
We weren't aware of what that grading style was, and I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's okay to be. We said that's not size inclusive.
We were wrong.
It is. We
Yes,
were wrong
we were
about
wrong.
that. So I do want to. I love that we're having a knitting journey, just like any other maker.
Mm-hmm.
Someone made a comment that said we need to know 100% before we turn on the live YouTube, and
we would never turn it on.
Could not disagree more.
Mm-hmm.
If you're, I could not disagree more. I will never be the person that says I know everything about anything. And I think that's part of the joy of loving fiber arts, right? Is that every project we learn something. But I just thought it was really, really interesting. And Kim's emails were so like mind blowing. Every time there was a new paragraph, I was like, oh my gosh,
I was like,
I know.
Yes.
And the reason Kim's name came to mind is because she did this huge survey over several years about getting actual makers' body sizes.
Let me just say this. It's also the other big bodies,
yes,
and very petite bodies.
Size inclusive, I know everybody likes to think it's that the size doesn't go big enough.
Yeah.
It is absolutely the other way. There are people equally frustrated that the smallest sizes, maybe in a standard sizing chart or whatever, they're too baggy. They don't give them the fit they want. So you're totally right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, everybody uses the term, is that size inclusive? But what is that? I love that we went down the road of, what does that really mean? What does that really mean? So anyway, Kim is she's this fountain of knowledge. And after all of this survey, and over 800 makers sent their body measurements, she came up with of course she cross-referenced it with like a bunch of sewing accept charts and the craft council and you name it. She'll tell you all about it in our Instagram video. Yeah. But she came up with her, what do they call it? True representative size chart, where it was actually makers today, this is the sizes we are. This is the sizes we're going to grade for. So it is this giant chart. You can get it, the download for free. All you have to do is go to digitsandthreads.ca and sign up for their emails, and they'll send you a link. You can get this chart for yourself for free. But please go to our Instagram. Last week, Kim was so generous, gave us over half an hour of her time, answered all of our newbie questions. And it was really hard to say goodbye because the whole topic was so interesting. I feel like we all feel like we do the right thing. We make a gauge swatch, we pick a size and blah, blah, blah. And we've had disappointment, right? And we want to modify something. And don't you think she just had so many mind-blowing...
Listen, the way she spoke, and the passion she has for this subject, the amount of time she's committed to things like this amazing chart and her patterns, and she teach classes. She'll find her at retreats and things. She wants to educate people on size inclusivity, how to grade and design patterns so us as knitters can find the perfect fit. Yeah. And not proportionately, like ways that you can, if your body is quite slim, but you've got a very big bust, how do I make that change?
Yeah.
If your torso's really long, anyway.
So everything from like my bicep is always so big, it never fits like you name it, any of those things, she's the gal to help you figure that out. An
education on how to knit a sweater for your body.
Yeah. And so, yes, she teaches, and we can't always go, make that work for our lives. She does have, it's called a yoke sweater fit. It's a workshop handout. So it's 25 pages. It took her a year of her, like she focused a year just on round yoke sweater fit. And you can buy that. If you go to her, I think it's indigodragonfly.ca. And if you can check out her patterns and her yarns, but this is also, I bought this. So it's, I don't know that it's a pattern for a certain sweater, but I think it's more about how you measure your body and make these sweaters, round yoke sweaters, work best for you.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people just think, oh, well, I need to measure, I'm going around my full bust and that's the size I need. And she tells you, no, it actually isn't. And she runs a boob camp.
You guys, light bulbs went off on this 40-minute conversation. I feel like we said goodbye because we were just going to talk for a bit, but I feel like this could be, you sit down in a class and she could just blow your mind for hours on this subject.
I think she just, honestly, if you love to make your own sweaters and you've ever wondered, how to make them fit you better, I think this is the road you need to go down. Kim's got a lot of her own patterns, so you could certainly just buy one and knit one and see what the difference is. But I would love. She is also teaching at Vogue Knitting Live this weekend. So
won't that be good?
She's running boob camp, not boot camp, boob camp.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us this past week, Kim. You are one of a kind.
Totally. I just can't wait to meet in real life. That's the other thing. We had never met. Mm-hmm. She had no it was just very, very generous. Yeah. And like you say, with the community there's a rallying call. She could let us sit on YouTube and look stupid, but no. She, shared her knowledge. And I know, the comments below that video, people were like, this is incredible and so exciting. Because I'm never not going to be knitting sweaters.
No.
It's really one of my favorite things to make. Mm-hmm. So it was great.
Another amazing resource for me that came out of it was somebody down below put us onto this and suggested this might be an excellent resource for us.
Yeah.
I was able to get it on Amazon.ca. Look for it in your bookstore. It is a book about, it's called Knitting Pattern Essentials, Adapting and Drafting Knitting Patterns for Great Knitwear. So it's under kind of the same idea that it's like what mistakes knitters make with patterns when choosing sizing and things like that. So if you wanted to do more diving on the subject, this is an amazing resource too.
It's actually, I wonder when that was published. I remember working at the yarn store and that was, it was a hardcover and it was always recommended for people.
2013.
Okay.
You guys, listen, we want to get it right, first of all. And second of all, we want to keep learning. I mean, I can't tell you how much I thought I knew on size inclusivity. And it was like nothing. I knew nothing until this past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or I knew basic size inclusivity. It was an education for me. And I'm grateful that we had this 2 week period that we got to do a deep dive on it, and we met Kim, we connected with Kim and all these other resources, so it's been really great.
Somebody just said that the designer of the sweater we were discussing deserves an apology, which we did happily. We would never choose to harm anyone, and I had a wonderful email from them too, so it was all
it's
good. People that like to create drama.
Fingers.
People that like to create drama. It's not the drama you're thinking it was.
You guys wouldn't believe the comments and emails we got. That's all I'll say. I'm not going into it, but it's just like, if you've watched us for this long, you really don't think that our hearts weren't in a good place. Like, yes, I completely agree. We should not have been talking about a specific pattern
100%
when we were talking about this. But move on. Live and learn.
Totally.
Live and learn.
Yeah.
And we did.
Totally.
We really
oh my gosh.
did.
Yes, it was a really energizing week of 2 weeks for me with the whole knitting thing. It really was, because like I said, love to knit sweaters, love to learn about that kind of thing, and I really cannot wait. I hope Kim teaches at Knit City Calgary, which is in August.
Mm-hmm.
And I really would love that. Either way, I know we'll end up taking a class from
Yeah.
her one day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to dive into this round yoke sweater thing.
We will
Workbook.
keep bringing you information.
You've knit a sweater that had way too much fabric. I've knit a sweater that...
You guys.
So maybe it was our size choice. Maybe we didn't measure our body correctly. But maybe we just didn't know everything. Of course we didn't know everything. If you guys are watching because you think we know everything, that's not true.
News
And
alert,
we've never
we know
said that.
very little.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here for
Listen,
community in a positive
we're
light.
entitled to our opinion. You're entitled to your
Sure.
opinion. If it's wrong, I'm so sorry. Just kidding. But listen.
Oh my gosh. I had a ball. Anyway, I love it. And you know what? We're here for the community. I guess good and bad, right?
Yeah.
It was good. It was really good.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you the things that weren't good because that's not what we're here for.
No,
so
but you know what? I don't know. I could go into a whole conversation. It's just interesting to me. Like the second, do people wait for you to slip up?
I don't really want to talk about, we'll talk about this in private. I think some people hear what they want to hear. And I think some people just love being judge and jury in the
That's
comments
true.
of a YouTube
And
video.
listen, we read every single comment. We read every single comment. We honestly do. And we
Gratefully.
Gratefully.
We love the
Yeah.
interaction.
Yeah. So this led us down. We're grateful for last podcast because it led us down this path that we were able to
Learn and grow.
Yep.
And then come back and share that with you guys.
Yeah.
I really hope you have, 40 minutes or at some point to go listen to Kim, though, to speak about what an expert on the topic. I mean, it really is just skimming the surface, and it left us wanting way more.
Yeah.
So that is one of the fun things about this channel. We get to shout out things that excite us in the fiber world, from awesome stitch markers and bags to awesome indie dyers to felted projects and cross stitch and all these events that are happening. That still gets my motor, it still floats my boat. It still gets me excited. And that's what we've always done. So I'm just staying on the road we've always been on, and very happy to do so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been good. It's been very good. So thank you to everybody that was constructively trying to help out.
Yes. Yes. So that's all we're going to say.
Sure.
Thank you for bringing this subject. We're thankful that we brought this subject to you last time. We're
Right.
grateful that we did the deep dive.
Totally.
Yeah, all of it.
Totally.
What if you don't do Instagram, Mary? I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, it's on Instagram.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's all been good. I have been knitting a lot.
I have been knitting.
And I don't know how. Oh, you're going to love what I cast on.
Really?
Jodi, I can't even. I'm
Okay.
loving what's on my needles these days.
So,
You've got a giant pile of knitting.
do you guys know about thrummed mittens? We've kind of talked about it before. I've only ever knit one pair.
What?
Back in the day, River City Yarns had a class on thrummed mittens.
Yep.
At the time, I took so many classes, and I adored this class.
It was such a good one.
So thrummed mittens, and I have some, so these are thrummed mittens. I'm going to turn one inside out. So originally, way back in England, in the mills where the textiles were made, there were these little nubs of waste from fiber or fabric, and they were called thrums, and they were knit into things like blankets or pillows or put in them to make them extra
wool.
Then it came
To Eastern Canada?
Eastern Canada.
That's where I know them from.
Newfoundland and Labrador took it one step further, where they took a little piece of roving.
They're a party on the inside of your mitten, 100%.
They would take a little piece of roving and actually make these little thrums, and you have to make a whole bunch. And then you're going to knit this little, what they call a thrum, into a stitch as you go, following the pattern, and it creates this really thick layer because the Easterners were so freezing cold with their icy winds in the
and
winter.
Moisture, right?
This was a way to block that all out.
It totally does. You know, because wool's got that element of being water resistant, right? And then, of course, that this is, you know, making these with natural wool is usually is probably the way to go. And it's a very tight gauge. So you're knitting these mittens quite snugly so that they stay super. I feel like there is nothing in the world that is cozier or warmer than a thrum mitten. If you live somewhere cold and you haven't made a thrum mitten, I feel like this is your thing. You need to do it.
So most thrum mittens that I went across, and I went through a lot of patterns, some are knit with worsted, a lot are knit with Aran and warmer, because that's the intention, to be a really thick, warm mitten. This happens to be DK held double on an Aran weight pattern.
Yeah.
So that worked. I think it was a little touch thick, held double for that pattern. But
so
listen,
so this is your wool.
this is my
Frankie
DK
Grey Fibres.
held double.
And then what did you do for your wool? So this is like unspun wool is the roving, right?
Unspun wool.
Yeah.
I had a whole bunch from stuff deep dive that we bought for felting.
We'll have to find out what pattern you use for our show notes.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you right now. So these are the most fun. There's a lot of patterns that don't have a little bit of a gusset for your thumb built. Some of them you just put some waste yarn when you come to the thumb and then you pick it up later. I really like the extra fabric that you create with a gusset.
It's my favorite style of mitten too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, they both work.
They both work for me, for fit and the puffiness of the thing. I just thought it really lends itself well to but having said that, I have knit a pattern without, and they fit just as nice.
Somebody said, do the thrums mat down? They do.
But
I mean, for years, my daughter Georgia still wears her thrum mittens. I've never really had a pair where she's like, geez, these aren't warm anymore. So if you add enough thrums and if they're long enough and fluffy enough, I think you're not going to have any trouble. But they mat down enough where they're a little bit comfier to wear because they do feel like you've got like those crazy mascot hands a little bit. You're not really going to do much while you're wearing these, but boy, these things are going to keep you warm. And Jodi, your DK's
it works
knit
really
at a
well.
Tight gauge like that. It's
it
perfect.
Works really well. So I used Toasty Mittens, and they are by Melissa Schwartz. It is a free pattern. It's Aran weight. It's a really nice pattern.
I mean, I think the reason, it's traditional to use natural wool, and it does give you that little bit of water resistance. But you know what? This is awesome. These feel incredible, and the cuff is so cozy.
Make sure if you do anything, you make your cuff, if not the right length, longer than needed.
Longer for sure.
There's nothing worse than the space between your mitt and your coat or your sweatshirt.
Be careful. If you knit a pair and love them and give them as a gift.
No,
make sure they're super knit worthy people, and be careful because everybody else is going to want a pair if you live somewhere cold. How many pairs of these did I make?
They're not quick. Because you have to make the thrums, but listen, you just watch a movie.
Yes.
You just kind of watch a movie and get a big Ziploc bag full.
Yeah.
You need more than you think.
And that's a really good tip when you're making these. Make all your thrums before you start.
Yes.
Don't think, oh, I'm just going to knit and do it
No.
as I go. That's once you get to the knitting, these are quite speedy.
It's only every 4th row that you add the thrums
Yeah.
and every 4th stitch.
I'll be honest, these are a fantastic project.
The other mitts, so the first pattern I just showed you
These are so beautiful.
was
though.
what I used for everything but the top of the mitt. In my deep dive of thrummed mittens, I came across so many patterns. I really loved this pattern for the top. It was a nice rounded top.
Okay.
So Easy Mitts with Thrums by Debbie Wilbur was the pattern I used for the
Decreases
only.
Oh.
You can use this for the whole thing or the other for the whole thing just to make it easy. They're both perfectly written, easy to follow patterns.
Great.
You guys, it was fun.
I love how you created your own rainbow.
I have to say, I did get inspiration, like double line on somebody's pattern photo.
Well, it's so cute. I mean, there's indie dyers that are dyeing roving. Maybe you've got some of that. Maybe you're a spinner. So I've done it with. So yes, back in the day when we took the class at the yarn shop, they had amazing kits from Handmaiden. So it was a Aran weight or chunk. I think it was an Aran weight wool, like a yarn, and then they would hand dye also the roving in sort of. They were just so artistic. I mean, they look exactly like this, Jode. They'd look just like this without having to have all the colors in your stash. But I love what you did. You can buy little sets of. Did you have those little bags of Ashford roving that had like 6 or 9 little balls in them?
It was now in a bag, but yes, that's once it was that.
So lots of yarn shops, and I think I saw it at the Fiber Nook. Ashford has these little bags, and I don't know if they're for spinning, they're for needle felting, they're for whatever, but you can buy a little bag like that, and it's a color story, 6 or 9 little balls. Some of them are like super neutral, and some is all blues, but some are like neon, some's a total rainbow. You can go wild, and you can. This is a great idea for chunky yarn.
I just found the thrummed mitten kits. I don't know if somebody is destashing.
Oh, yeah, that's them. So they're basically a hand-dyed version. So you can go both ways.
Oh, she has a lot of choices.
Oh,
she has a whole bunch of
there
them.
were so many.
So, and then, okay, so
as long as it's just natural wool roving, I mean, you're good to go. That's what you need.
3 Fathom Fiber Arts on Etsy has a whole bunch of these kits.
Oh, that's
and it comes with the roving. See, different colors. But these were the kits that River City had, and these were the mitts that I originally knit from the class. They were so fun.
They are so fun. I did find I had lots of the roving left over in that one, but I found the yarn was like I don't know that it would do a big man or just a really large mitten, but it was certainly enough for whatever I was using.
You used surprisingly little amount of this. Well, maybe because I used so many colors, maybe it didn't look like I used much of each.
I think if I had to use, or not had to, if I wanted to use that kit, that hand-dyed kit, and you were worried about having enough yarn, I would do contrast cuffs. So whatever yarn you had at home that you wanted to make the cuffs, I would do that and then just make the mitten in the other one.
I did run out for the thumbs on that and had to do just a cream thumb.
Right.
So that's a really good tip for that kit. But these are
Jodi,
Madison's.
they're stunning. And did she crazy about them?
Loves them, loves them.
She will love them.
They were so fun.
And they last a long, long time.
Listen, they better because I'll never knit them again.
I said that to Georgia last time I made her a pair. And now looking at these, I'm lying. I would totally make her a pair.
They were fun.
I should show them to her.
Don't
show her.
Georgia!
She will want me. And you know what? It's been, at one point, I was making pair after pair after pair. Because everybody was like, I would love a pair. And I was like, really? Great. I run to the yarn store, get the yarn. I was so happy. So happy to make them for people. And now it's like, it's all about me. I have sweaters I need to knit.
No.
But I would totally make another pair.
Yeah, once every 5 years I'll knit a pair of thrum mittens. Oh, you guys, but let me tell you this. There are patterns for thrummed slippers.
I think Isolde's got a pattern for that.
You guys.
So how cozy. I've seen a thrummed headband too, where just to keep your ears warm.
Any of our cold extremity people,
Yeah.
there's other thrummed options.
Totally.
Anyway, I'm just going to quickly search thrummed here, and these are them.
Yeah, if you can go to Ravelry and search thrummed. There's isn't that cute? Those are so cute.
These are called Thrummy from Faye Kennington.
If you have like a little, cold floors, that's it. That's your answer.
Listen, and it feel like you're walking on pillows. I had someone say, could you please either show on your iPad, which I forgot my iPad, or not just flash it for a few seconds. I get that. Here, I'm making sure everyone gets to see the photo. See, that's the kind of feedback we like.
It's good, yeah.
Constructive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. Jodi, great project. You didn't even share what you were wearing today. We were all in the wallpaper, and we did not share what we were wearing. Can you tell us what you're wearing? Because it's mesmerizing. It's one of my favorite sweaters.
Listen, when I put this on, it's like a whole mood. But if I'm honest, you guys, I chose a size too big. Like in learning how you
it
knit
looks
sweaters and what I like.
You don't, so now you feel like it's a bit too roomy.
Yeah, you guys, I think I do. Not that I'm not going to wear it, but if I was honest with myself and with the information that I've learned in the past 2 weeks, I believe I would have chosen a smaller size.
And don't you think one of the keys to getting sweaters that we're 1,000% happy with is knowing your body sizes?
Yeah.
When was the last time you measured your body?
1984.
Under duress, I did it sometime. So really, it's just those are the numbers we need.
It's a number. I don't care what the number is.
No.
But if you guys, do you know what I mean? Like this sweater's, I shouldn't say too big for me. Yes, this sweater's too big for me. It's not too big for the people who like oversized sweaters.
And for what you were expecting, it's larger than you were hoping for.
Right?
Yeah, and
because look how skinny I really am.
And look at the silhouette you can change, right? Just by adding or subtracting ease.
Right.
Yeah.
So like if I take off a little of ease, for me, right? So you guys listen.
So, okay, what are you wearing?
Easy like Sunday morning.
It's so
It's
beautiful.
modified. It's a little bit modified. I did a little bit of a shorter raglan. But let's just say for all intents and purposes, with my minor adjustment, easy like Sunday morning.
Yeah.
By Melissa of Sonder Yarn.
And it's in Sonder Yarn.
And I brought my Sonder yarn.
What?
Because I wanted to be able to show you.
Wow. You did homework. I'm so impressed.
Listen.
As always.
Listen, I'm catching on after 8 years. So this is Fingering Weight yarn in their Sunday Morning DK. It's their ecru base. It's their lighter version. Window shopping.
So good.
And then Amanda, Crafty Jackalope. These are the Mega Bling Sparkle.
You mean the sparkly jackalope?
Yeah. If only we knew it was going to be.
Oh, she's the best.
This is color 101, and it's the Mega Bling. It's like the very light thread with the beautiful multicolored.
It's so good.
Held together. Oh, there was a skein of mohair also. I held 3 yarns together the whole time.
I love it.
It will not, just because it's a little more oversized that maybe I choose now, I will not stop wearing this.
No, because then you balance it out with like jeggings or skinnier pants. Like, do you know what I mean? You can make it work.
And you know what's interesting?
Sorry, I keep whacking the microphone.
Is 8 years in, we are still learning about sweater fit and how to choose the right sweater. And we've knit a lot of sweaters.
Right.
This has been such a great education.
I feel like I learn every project is teaching me something. Every single one.
Yeah. Anyway, that's this. How good is that?
It's amazing. It's phenomenal. And it is one of my I love it when you wear it because I love looking at the sparkle Jodi.
Listen, I also was gifted this
Ooh, I love
at
that
Christmas
color.
time.
I
You
love
guys,
that
what do you
color.
think? It's like, what do you call it?
Okay, it's like a pearly taupey color.
It's
It could go with
like a
pink.
parchment.
It could go with a dirty, like a ballet slipper. It could go with any neutral, really.
How?
It could
This
go
is
with
another one of in the same line. It's got an all over sparkle. A sparkle. Look how tiny they are, you guys.
yes.
For this is champagne.
Oh, champagne. That's such a good name for it. It totally is.
I don't know. I just put on the sweater
I
and
would
I
put it.
felt like
I would put it with a warm gray, or even. Are you thinking about for your own yarn?
yeah.
Like
I
I
just
would
wanna
go down
knit
the
it.
road of what's lighter than taupe. Like in
Sand
that
dollar.
family.
Parchment. Parchment is the lightest version and sand dollars in the middle.
Yeah. It would be beautiful with so many colors.
Anyway.
Smoke show, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So this was my morning start, was rummaging through my sparkles, my sparkle bin.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love it, love
It's
it,
so
love
pretty.
it. I'm wearing the Cozy Classic Raglan. It's so funny. Like I said, we didn't plan anything. It's all in Sonder yarn. This is the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie Maid. It is a Raglan style sweater, and I just added some stripes.
Oh,
Right immediately after I separated. No, maybe if one of them started before I separated for sleeves. So kind of right across the
Yeah.
bust. And then I bound off and cast on with black, and it goes it's long. I was so proud of myself. I didn't quit the knitting. It's quite more than halfway down my bum, so it's kind of tunicky. I wear it with leggings. I love it.
I see this and I want to cast one on because of the little details you
Yeah,
added
just that little
to
bit.
a Raglan sweater.
Totally plain Raglan
Yeah.
sweater. I just changed the length. I added some stripes and did this cast on. This color is called Sleeping Beauty. It's also in Sunday Morning DK, as well as the Mohair Halo Mohair held together. So I love it.
Before I continue,
Yes.
because I'll forget it if I think I'll do it later.
Mm-hmm.
We're all familiar with Malabrigo Rasta.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the super bulky, it's a single ply yarn for Malabrigo. Beautiful colors. Do you know I knit thrummed mittens? God, I'm so fucking lazy. I cut Malabrigo yarn up into about 3-inch pieces, and I literally knit the chunk of 3 inches as the thrum into my knitting.
And how did that go?
Great. But then after I fluffed it up a little,
Right.
you need to fluff it up after.
Right. Because it's a single ply, meaning spun.
It's like roving. It's like thinner roving.
It's not, it's for
Not
sure
quite.
not tightly spun. Yeah. So now that you've done it both ways, if someone's never made thrum mittens, what would you say?
Make thrums.
I think so too.
Yeah, make the thrums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really isn't that hard. It really is something doing it on your lap as you're watching a movie, and before you're done, before you know it, that movie's over and you've got a pile of thrums to
I could
do.
tell which ones I did at the beginning of my bag and at the end of I got really good at making thrums after you make hundreds and hundreds.
Well, not
This
quite.
is gorgeous. Yes. Do you think not?
Maybe.
No, maybe that's an exaggeration.
Maybe
Tracie.
200.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 20.
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 140.
yeah,
So with the thumb, maybe about 300-ish.
you're right.
Well, I
Hundreds
think-
and hundreds. You're right. But that you can probably make three in a minute,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
If you're
good.
like, crack the whip.
Oh, more than 3 in a minute.
Yeah. Anyway, it was awesome. They're so beautiful. They're absolutely inspiring and stunning.
Show me some knitting.
Okay, I will show you. Do you want to see my sweater that I cast on? Last time I shared it, it was just a tiny little neck band. And I knit and knit and knit. And now it's been separated for the sleeves.
You've gotten very far.
Stop it. Holy cow. And I would be much further if I didn't cast on something else. But I was feeling like, okay, I'm ready to cast on something else at the moment.
New year, new bag of whips.
Right. Well, I finished a sweater and then frogged that vest. It was like, oh yeah, we need a cast on. This is so beautiful. This is the eucalyptus color in Frankie Grey Fibres. This was a Christmas gift from Jodi. She said, pick a color. I want to dye you yarn. And I love her eucalyptus color. So this is her fingering weight sock base. And this is their, what do they call it? Alpaca cashmere silk.
Majestic fluff.
Majestic fluff. Okay, so the fiber content is 34% silk, 13% cashmere, 53% baby alpaca. So it's similar to Surrey alpaca, but
Yeah.
hello, silk and cashmere.
It looks, you know what it really does, because the Surrey isn't as bright. The Surrey base isn't quite as vibrant with the dye.
Right.
So it really makes a really heathered.
Yeah. And if you wanted it to
Fabric.
match, you could literally choose two different colors, right? Like a lighter bluish color to match. But I personally, I'm still on the first ball of Surrey.
Are you really?
I mean, it's very small, but I gotta ask somebody that knows why. There's a significant amount of yardage left there.
Yes.
And I've already started my second ball. And they, aren't they the exact same yardage or very similar?
Well, how much fingering weight do you have?
Nothing. Like I'm on the second ball.
A fingering weight.
Yeah, so the fingering weight has 365 meters.
From my...
And they're both, and this has 400 meters. So it is a little bit longer.
Oh, I see.
This is, so the fluff is 400 meters and the fingering weight's 365 meters, which you think super close, right? So I do have a little bit left. So I haven't started that second ball yet.
It's
Anyway,
a really pretty heathered
the
look.
pattern that I'm going with is Lento, which I love.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful Raglan style sweater in kind of a looser gauge. So it knits up pretty quickly on larger needles. It's a really great classic shape. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to...
Do you have plans when you're done?
Yes, Jodi.
Something went wrong.
Oh.
Please try again.
Since when does my phone ever listen to me? I have zero success with Surrey. Zero.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Surrey. See?
Yours said,
My Surrey
You
is...
talk to yours a lot.
No, I talk to Alexa a lot.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's the sweater. That's going so well. It's just the most relaxing now, just like stocking it in the round. So nice. So I've decided that that sweater is going to be a project that once I'm done knitting, I'm really not done because I am going to attempt embroidery on this one. So this is the Embroidery on Knits book that came out very recently. I mean, in the fall last year. And it's so gorgeous. I know we shared it when it came out. It is
There's
totally...
so many inspiring
Oh my gosh.
ideas in this book.
It gives you all, like, how to do the embroidery, but then all the photography is showing you options of ways that you can get artistic. It's a lot of it is floral, but some of it is fancier than others. I definitely see myself putting some kind of, I really love a daisy. I love it. So I think I'm going to do something like this. I don't know. I love...
It's hard to choose because there's so many amazing motifs in here.
I might even just take one of my old swatches and practice.
I love the tone on tone.
Yeah. It's not going to be... Oh, I love that.
Right?
Okay, I'm going to knit this sweater one day. There's a sweater that I showed before. This, where they do the bulky... Jodi, maybe I'll do that around, as a big,
Wouldn't that be
brooch.
gorgeous?
Woolen brooch.
Yes. I feel like you can't go wrong.
It's just so inspiring, and I love it so much. And I did intend to embroider on knits when I bought this book. So I think this sweater is really a great... basic shape that you can do, you know, you can leave it as is. I've got lots of sweaters like that and I love them. But look at, you can go kind of like colorful. Isn't that so sweet?
And then maybe you try your hand at this for the first time.
Yeah.
Or you're a seasoned embroiderer and it like provokes more ideas and more things. It's a springboard to maybe more embroidery.
Well,
in your
I
life.
love it. I love it. I've done minimal embroidery on that one sweater, and it is one of my favorite ones to wear. But I would love to do one where it was like, you know, like a little more little more intricate, right?
Yes.
A little more like go up a
Love
level
it.
with my basic. So I can't decide if I'm going to do like trees or little, you know, daisy garden, or I don't know what.
Love it.
So my first step, knit the sweater. Knit the sweater.
Love it, love it, love it.
I'm glad you reminded me about that Jodi. My book was under a bunch of stuff.
We have more coming to our shop.
Yes.
Embroidery on Knits were sold out. It can be found other places if you Google it, but if you're waiting for our specifically, it's...
Check your local yarn shop for sure.
Lots and lots of places have it, you guys.
If you love embroidery or you think this is something that you might like to do, it would be great to have as a resource in your library, I think. It's beautiful. Beautiful book. So that's that, Joe.
This actually, this neckline, somebody said about fold over neckline, this pattern, that is one thing I had forgotten to mention. This had a folded over neckline. It wouldn't have looked different. It would have just maybe been a little thicker.
That's a good point. The Lento also has a folded over ribbed neckline. I am using the pattern. I'm not following it all the details the same. I'm using the numbers in the sizing and all of that.
Yeah.
It's such a good pattern. I could knit it just like this Cozy Classic Raglan is. So this one is a tighter gauge than the Lento is a little bit looser gauge. Same silhouette and same classic. It's almost like a blank canvas. You can make it what you want. And we had that conversation, and it's totally worth having again, because if you find a silhouette that you like, you can do all kinds of things just by adding color or something like that to zhuzh it up, and it will look completely different.
Listen, we can talk for days about that subject.
Yeah.
Taking your favorite patterns and just expanding on adding your flair.
Yeah.
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 Okay. The Petite Knitter.
Yes.
Brand new Colorwork socks. I feel like she went out of her box because there's blue on her socks.
That is out of her.
These are called grain socks by the Petite Knitter. And we know and love her for her designs, for her palette that's always so neutral with browns and taupes and creams.
I love that. Like if you go to her Instagram, it is the most beautiful, cohesive, you know, she's got this color palette that sings to her and she uses over and over. And obviously neons don't call her name. I feel like I love neutrals and I love brights too, but I love her pattern and I love her work.
Beautiful?
Yes, so much.
Oh,
Ellie's keeping us safe.
Thank you, Ellie.
Okay, I'll show you one little pattern that came up for me, and I thought, what the heck? How did I miss this? Because I think it came out maybe last week. Okay, you know the pressed flowers pullover cardigan by Savory Knitting, who is Amy Christopher's. Okay.
I feel like everything happens for a reason. I feel like you've wanted to knit pressed flowers.
I know.
And I feel like there was a reason why you hadn't, because you were waiting for the best.
Right.
And it's adorable. You know what I love about this?
What?
Now, I'm not sure if her yarn is blue on the ribbing at the bottom.
No.
Or did she add that little pop of color?
So in some of the other pressed flowers pieces, the background color was a solid, and then the flowers and the cuffs and stuff were a color changing yarn. The background yarn, I think, is color changing. and the flowers are like a solid color.
I think it's
mohair.
opposite.
So I think this is part of the color changing yarn in the background. So they've just dropped the
It's
mohair there. Yeah. Isn't that
amazing.
gorgeous?
Don't you think?
Yes, I do. I do. And actually, if you're watching this today, I do believe you can still get the sale pricing on that cardigan if you go get it today. Let me look here.
I think it's so
Through
pretty.
January 28th, you can save 20% off all the press flower patterns. So there's the hat and the shawl and the cowl and the cardigan and pullover. You know, I just love that there's so many
Yeah.
options.
Love it.
I love that. I still really want to make it.
Yeah. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. Last week, we talked about timber yarns.
Yes.
And these these bundles that were knit for a sock pattern, but also the newer hat pattern that I showed you last week.
Yes.
And so you guys remember the kits.
Oh,
I did socks for my husband.
Jodi. Yes, her husband's that tall.
Yes, he's 6'5" or 6'6", somewhere in there. But I used the set that she gave me.
So
you know what?
Is this one skein of DK?
It's
So it was-
110 grams. It actually weighed, it says it's 110 grams. Mine actually weighed 120 grams.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. That's so
Right?
generous.
So it
yes.
says on the label 110. Mine was closer to 120.
Wow, that's
This is a
lucky.
50 grammer. And this is a
So you get 170 grams of yarn, or 100.
this is a 40 grammer, and then this is a 10 gram.
So 150 grams of yarn makes a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot of yarn.
A lot of yarn.
Yeah. So I love what you did. So you took the sock monkey theme and I guess I love that color palette.
Love it.
I love the marled and the cream and that
It's just a vanilla sock.
cherry red. It's all stockinette stitch.
All stockinette stitch.
So you started your cuff. Oh, it's a long one.
Yeah, he decided he needed longer.
I make Jeff's longer too.
Yeah.
It just fits better with the bigger legs,
It's
taller
about 2
sock.
inches of folded. It looks like it's only this much of a folded hem, but it's actually 2 inches of a folded hem.
And then you change to the cream,
I did.
and then you change to the main color.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just switching it up.
Listen, it's all knit stitch, but color changing, color blocking is such an easy way to make it, something special. Jodi, tell us.
So fun. And so he decided, unbeknownst to me, and I'm actually, truth be told, not very happy, that he's like, oh, I love hand knitted socks. He said, I'm going to get rid of my other ones. I'm like, hold your horses.
Let me teach you how to make a sock.
He's giant, you guys, but this gives you like an idea of,
It's
and
beautiful.
he asked, I do 10 inches here, and then it's about 10 inches before I do the toe for his giant feet.
Wow.
So it was so fun. And then what I had to do, as soon as I cranked this tube, this was an afterthought heel. This was an afterthought, or our toe, finishing the toe.
Right.
I went to Timber Yarns, who she is lovely,
Aww,
by the way.
that's so nice.
She has so many colors. So this was this is how it arrived to her. It's a black and white marled twisted yarn, right? It's twisted together. Like
Gorgeous.
the zebra yarn, right?
Gorgeous, yeah.
So this was undyed. And so she's got red.
Ooh.
This one is called the gray. She has bright cobalt blue. She's got green. She's got pink. Tons of colors. These turned out so amazing. I thought I'm going to do a couple more pairs.
Totally.
Because you
Jodi.
love socks. So these are 2 of the colors that arrived.
Gorgeous. And let me tell you, this is soft.
Isn't it beautiful?
And it's 80-20, right? 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon? Remember we were
Yes.
looking at it last time. Yeah. So, wow.
My needle and my gauge that I get, for me, is a 3.5, what I do all my DK socks on. Because when I pick up my stitches, my 3.5 needle just slips in perfectly.
We should measure it one day, like as a stitch count. Like,
Yeah. So I adore I adore this
Totally. I
set.
love this kind of thing. I
Yeah.
love marled yarn. Love, love, love it.
Isn't it fun?
Yes.
And then if you don't love the color, just do that, right? If you don't like, but I just thought, how do I get more red in?
I think even somebody would just really like just the main color.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Not everyone loves color.
Right. Or the people that like if you're making it as a gift, they may not want a red stripe on the toe, right?
Although if you want to add color, just here.
Yeah.
Is it there or isn't there?
You could even just cast on with
Yeah.
the red and then do cream and then
Yeah.
off to your main color. Like
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. Someone asked, I did not knit this. This was a 2x cranked on our Erlbacher Gerhardt Speedster circular sock machine.
Yeah.
And then I hung the cuff on the machine too. And then I cut in the heel after, and I finished it with a rounded toe. So
Beautiful.
love it.
I actually do like that we have, I mean, everybody in our family that we've gifted socks to, because obviously it's their first pair of hand knit socks. Does everybody in your house love them?
No, Jordan doesn't.
Okay.
Max likes them. Maddie loves them.
Yeah.
I
I
know,
mean,
she
most of
loves
them, I would say most of them are like, yeah, I love this. So I do love that. I think it's a great gift. I love socks.
I love gifting socks to people.
I actually have a sock tube right here that I'm going to turn into, I don't know what happened. This is actually a tube I made ages ago.
Ah.
So I've hung a hem here. So I don't know what I was doing. But this is Patons Kroy sock yarn.
So beautiful.
Isn't it nice?
Yes.
And it's very woolly. Like this is wool sock. And it is very, very
me.
well loved here. That's a
Super wash.
popular superwash, but not like merino. Like it's a wool, superwash wool and
Yes.
nylon, not superwash merino and nylon.
Got it.
Right?
There's
So
a
they'll
difference.
use
Yes,
like
yes.
a more rustic
Yeah.
fibers.
But
So
still,
not as soft.
superwash.
It feels like a wool sock.
Yeah.
It feels like those gray where you think work sock. It feels like a wool sock.
Since I've met my husband, that's the only thing he wears.
Yeah.
Is the navy and the gray woolly work
Yeah.
socks. And those things wash and dry.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. You can do it 100 times.
Wool socks are so smart. Like where we live, if you just have the wool sock on, you are always warm. It just that one little difference of having.
I was just looking at my socks this
Oh.
morning.
So cute.
I think this is coloring book. No. This
Yes,
is,
I do.
No. I think this is lollipop yarn.
Oh, okay.
If I
Sorry,
was to
that's what I was
guess-
thinking of. The balls. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Julie says Patons Kroy yarn lasts forever. We find the same thing. The same
Yes.
thing. And
That's what I got to get, you guys. I got to get some DK Patons Kroy. Is that a thing? We've
well,
talked
it's
about this.
kind of sport weight. It's not really fingering weight. Like I crank this on a 64 stitch, but I open the stitch up a bit, and they fit Jeff great. And he's got a wide foot. Like
So if I wanted to do it on a 48.
I actually have some DK weight sock yarn, superwash wool sock yarn if you want. I think it was. I'll have to dig it out.
Yeah, I'd like
oh
to
no, just
try.
a sec. I see it.
Only because that's my machine is I have the
I love this.
I have the what's the word I'm thinking of? The 64 machine
48 cylinder.
cylinder. I have them both, but it's just easier to keep one on.
Okay, Patons Kroy, super cute.
Yeah.
Super cute. They have self-striping. How cute is that? I actually got that for myself.
Isn't
And
that
they've
what
got-
that is?
This is self-striping,
Yeah.
yeah. But they have ones that look like they're marled, kind of like a spin cycle style, like a hand spun looking style, where they change color, gradient.
Yes.
This is just the gray marl. I use this for cuffs, heels, toes, plain. So it's awesome. It's one I'll buy like 4 balls of at a time because I love it. But here is DK wool sock yarn.
It's a biggie.
I bought this at the Fiber Nook.
That's nice.
So it's 6 ply. It's flot sock, 75% wool, 25% polyamide, 150-gram balls, 375 meters of DK. This is a lot of sock.
That is a lot of sock.
Yeah. So I bought navy and blue and that kind of gray.
150 grams. Wow.
You want to take some? You should take
Yeah, I'm
some.
going to take one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's great. It's great. And it's pretty soft.
Okay.
It's not as woolly feeling to me.
I have to say, that is quite soft.
It feels great.
Is there a world where I get those Nordic-looking,
Oh, yeah. Self-patterning yarn.
self-patterning, Nordic-looking,
Yes.
superwash DK?
I have seen, and I don't know what's going on now, but in the past, I have seen Opal yarn. So Opal will be big balls like that too.
Do they not make it?
Or Regia.
Patons Kroy is very affordable, very amazing yarn.
Oh, I love it. I always just get it at Michael's, or
Yeah.
if they're out of colors, I've bought it online before.
Who did you say?
I think Opal and Regia both do DK weight self-patterning yarn.
Opal.
And I mean, Regia is the one that does they're both so well known for their self-patterning yarns.
Oh, Tracie.
Yeah, it's what you're looking for.
Okay, I'm going to show you.
Yeah. It's great. And both of those are incredible yarns. And also the same kind of fiber, 75% wool.
Look at that. That's what I mean by like those Nordic self-patterning. You guys, that's the magic of this yarn. It does those self-patterning sections.
Yeah.
Okay. Choose from 8 colors. Hurry, there's only 4 left of this one.
And I mean, Patons Kroy, when you look it up, it says it's fingering. I don't find that in the skeins that I have. I find it's heavier than that. You might find it's in between fingering and sport or more like a sport. And these things can all be slightly different, right?
And
so
you
you'll
know
have
what?
to,
Yes.
right?
That's
Like
something to
knit it
think
up,
about.
figure it out,
Yeah.
what needle size you're going to need. But I find Patons Kroy, the ones I just showed you, definitely thicker than a regular fingering weight yarn.
I also are familiar with Opal a little bit in the way they come out with collections.
Yeah, they do.
And so if you see a collection, like this one happens to be like the Fantastic Sky.
I remember that, I don't know if they still do, but they used to do an advent calendar and you'd get like a little, I think it was like a 10-gram nugget of this
Do you know how
self-patterning.
close- I never pulled the trigger and got those.
I never saw, I mean, this was so many years ago, but at the time, I think I had to order it from them, like in Europe, and I just didn't do it. But they're so cute.
Regia. Oh, this is nice.
And they also do collections. I feel like those two brands are very,
Aren't
like,
it-
high quality.
Yes.
There's so many good. I love those. Like that one I just showed you. I don't have a lot of that yarn.
Okay, so Regia also did those perfect pair.
Yeah, perfect. And
Well,
that's
it's
cool
not
too.
DK. That's okay. I'll just have to do a little bit more of a deep dive.
Right.
But there's so many, I mean, sock, yarn,
Listen,
deep dive, a
if
million
you love
brands.
socks
Yeah.
and sock yarn,
Yes.
you are never ever gonna be at a loss for
No.
yarns to choose, right? There's
no.
so many. Anyway, super cool. I love it. I love a good woolly sock.
Yeah, you know a lot about woolly socks. You used it a lot.
I have.
Yeah.
I have. And these
Okay.
are great. To me, these are like the best of both worlds. They are woolly and they're strong. And yes, you can throw them in the washing machine. So for people to give as gifts, right? People are never going to felt the gift you gave them because it's easy to care for.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Do you have any more socks? Do you have socks?
Yes.
Okay, grab
Let's
a sock.
do sock talk. Sock talk.
God, we haven't done that for a minute.
I still love it. 100% love it.
I have 2 more pairs of socks. Do you have
Me
socks?
too.
Okay.
Jodi.
Get out a pair.
It's right here. You go first.
Okay, so these, out of 2 socks, I had 1 toe to finish. And do you know how long it's been sitting?
Why are we like that?
I don't know.
We're so easily distracted as knitters.
Right. So this is the most basic of vanilla sock. It's exactly how I like to wear my shorties. I have a folded hem. It's about 25 rows folded in half. So about 12 or 13 rows per side. I do about an inch before I cut in the heel. This is a mini set, you guys. This is a Frankie Grey yarn mini set. This was a sample for our shop because we have so many mini sets, and this happens to be one of them. That's all I have to say about it. But
Can I just say, I love a stockinette sock.
yeah,
I love color blocking. I love stripes. I could not love this even more anymore.
thank you. It is a perfect canvas to add something or leave it exactly how it is. This is so we can show how pretty these colors play together. This is taupe, hibiscus, eucalyptus, blushing bride, and parchment.
So pretty.
But it's fun because, I mean, I love seeing different color combinations together. I'm not always great at doing it, so we've taken some of the guesswork out of it. But having said that, I love knitting DK socks.
Somebody said, what pattern is it? And this is a 48 stitch DK sock, right?
Yes.
I think Susan B. Anderson, I'm not sure if hers is, she does a How I Knit My Socks, but then I thought she had How I Knit My Socks.
DK.
Maybe it's worsted? There's for sure vanilla DK socks out there, like a stockinette beat, but it's a 48 stitch. Because that fits your foot.
Yeah.
I know there's DK socks out there that are free.
I should write a pattern for Frankie Grey, and then like this, and then it's just, if you want it, I'll just add a link.
Yeah.
You can download a free pattern or something, just so you can get like the basics.
Yeah.
But it's 48 stitches on a 3.5 millimeter needles, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what this is.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you. I have so much sock stuff to talk about today. Can you please talk about
Good.
Sock Bash? Oh, All Stars.
Yeah, that hasn't been put up yet, but it will be.
Okay,
it
good.
will be.
Yeah, no worries. No.
It has not been put up yet. Yeah. Okay.
Sock.
Okay. So how about this one? This is my sock that I throw in my bag when I know I'm gonna be going somewhere that maybe I'm gonna be waiting, or maybe in the movies. And it's Jodi dyed this beautiful yarn. This is DK also, because once you try DK, you guys, if you haven't, please do.
I'm telling you.
Please do. Is this Birthday Bash?
54 never looks so good. Yes. Birthday Bash.
What a sweet sister, right? It is so gorgeous. It's all these amazing speckles that the moment I saw it, I just about...
Tracie's favorite speckles.
I had a little bit of a moment, a yarn moment, because I absolutely love it. And it's this minty bluey green, this soft aqua that I love so much. And I didn't know what to make with it. And then one day was like, look, don't fight it. You love knitting socks. You love wearing socks. Just cast on a pair of socks. So I did. And of course I was extra. And I was like, I'm going to add a bunch of colors to this. But I really didn't want to add too much. So I'm just tucking in ends in my sock here.
Wait, you guys, it's so
So
good.
I cast on, is this lemony limey?
Yes.
It's so good, you guys. If you love a good, like,
no,
slimy, greeny,
citron,
neon.
I think.
Okay, citron.
Citron.
I knew it wasn't.
The green might be a
I
little
kept
greener.
thinking ochre, but that is not ochre. I knew
citron.
I was wrong. Okay, citron. There we go. Bright, lemony, limey, greeny color. Did a little bit of ribbing, and then did a couple of sporty stripes in Lollipop, which is an awesome, bright coral.
God, I love it. I'm sorry.
I love it.
love it.
So much.
Yeah.
And then I just started knitting, plain stockinette. All these speckles started showing their beautiful little selves. And then I'll just be knitting in the movie. And I thought at one point I'd be like, oh, okay, now I'm going to put in a heel and whatever. Well, it just got way past that. So it's super long. This thing has been to a few plays and a few movies and a few doctor's offices and all of that stuff where we sit around and just knit. And so now the plan is to just knit a really long tube, and they'll finish with the same kind of cuff and stripes at that end. And then I will cut in afterthought heels and toes.
I love that.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I have to speak.
Oh, bless you. Oh my God.
Excuse me.
You're way more dainty.
Oh my God, not dainty. I'm just not trying to, you know.
It's like
anyway,
Perfect.
snot all over my arm. Anyway, you guys, this color is amazing. It doesn't need a pop of anything, but
it's so good.
You could put it with anything.
Yeah.
You could put it with that bright cobalt blue.
Yeah.
Like maybe this neon-y thing isn't your thing, but it's totally my thing. So I love it. I love having this project. They're probably not going to be super long.
I love it.
So I will just knit
like this above the ankle, kind of.
a little bit.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So thank you, Julie.
I'm Jodi.
And I knit my DK socks on a 3mm needle, also 48 stitches. So I feel like our gauge is not that different. We just use different needle sizes.
Yes.
To get it, right?
See, everyone knits at different tensions.
Yeah. So like when you say 3.5mm on 48 stitches, that could be bigger for some people.
Yes.
So you'll anyway, that's all. They're so
Love
cute.
it.
I said to Jodi, this color, I don't know what it's like to dye.
Oh, it's not terrible.
I feel like one day. Do you guys ever dye it for your shop?
We did dye it right after. Listen, if anyone wants, we'll dye it up for you.
It's
Absolutely.
so beautiful.
We can even put a little bit of we'll do it next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Anyway.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. And it's in a bag by Renee, who's Lowland Originals. She does these awesome, beautiful patchwork. And you like they're treasures. You just don't even know what you're going to get. She does so much sewing.
I love it.
And to me, they're total treasures. I love, 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 love. If I went to her shop and I could just close my eyes and say, just send me whatever, because they are all treasures. None of them are the same. And I just think her work is beautiful. I'm trying to find a little, I don't even see a tag on. Oh, it's inside. Sorry. Right here, Lowland Originals.
That's a really special bag.
It is. I love it.
I'm going to go buy one.
You should. They're awesome. And super like you can just
throw in
scrunch
your
it
purse.
down.
Love that.
Scrunch it down.
Okay, you guys.
More socks?
Yes, but I want to show you this.
Okay, Jodi. I was trying to figure out what the heck you had all those.
Now, I'm not sure. I don't know what this is for. Maybe you'd. Anyway, look at this.
Where did you get this?
Amazon. Amazon.ca. It was $40 and it's got 3 sets.
So it came all together. Like you got all the blockers and the little hanger thing.
Yeah. I would say this is a large, a medium, and maybe a teen/child. Amazon.ca. Silly Monkey. It's called Silly Monkey Sock Blockers.
Okay, that's super cool.
Yeah.
I do. Those are my favorite kind of sock blockers. The ones that are wire.
Yeah.
I have other beautiful ones that I love as well. But as far as like quick drying, these ones that are just a frame, like they just seem to dry your socks so fast. I only block my socks to share here. I don't usually, but if I am knitting a pair of gift socks, I always throw them on the blockers to dry. Like I would use those.
When I block for here, all I've done was put my freshly knitted sock on a blocker, spray it with a little spritz of spray, and that was it, water, and that's it.
And did you steam it?
No.
Oh, that's what I've done. So I'll put it on the blocker.
Oh, I have steamed it too. Yeah.
And then that is blocking.
That's instant.
That's water and heat, and it totally is blocking. That's what I did this morning because I forgot to block my next sock that I'm going to share with you. But is blocking necessary when you're doing your laundry and it's just a pile of socks that are going to be on your feet or your family's feet? No.
Yeah.
But for gifts, I always block them so that they look their best for the first time. And here, but you don't really have to. But if you're going to hang socks to dry, this can be handy for sure.
Right.
They're my favorite kind of blockers, those
Yeah.
stainless steel wire ones.
It would have been the one step further that would have been nice is if you could customize what size you got on this.
Right.
I'll never use the
But
small.
yes, you will for
I?
Jane.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's only a few people that you'd use it for.
That is true.
But I feel like that would work for her.
She's got little feet. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
I love it, Jode.
I thought that was great.
That is super cool, and I love it. I always hang mine off the. So if I'm blocking a pair of socks, there's high cupboards in my laundry room over the sink, and I just hang it on the handles of that, and they're just kind of like hanging there. But
that's exactly what I do.
yeah. But if I wash like a whole pile of my own socks, they go in the washing machine, and then I have one of those clothes dryer things with all the rows, and I just put them on that and let them dry. I know you put yours in the dryer. And that's a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And they last still.
They last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. It's totally up to you.
Okay,
Jodi, these are beautiful.
Okay, so
your husband's very lucky. Yeah. In very many ways.
So this was a tube I cranked, but funny enough, this is mohair and fingering held together.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw this tube and he said, "Ooh, I like those." So that's fine. I would never have thought he would have chose mohair and fingering.
And 48 stitches again.
Yeah.
So tell me, did he put these on yet?
Yes.
And does he like the way mohair feels?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love it. I think Jeff would like this too.
So I used fingering and mohair for the main sock. And then heels and toes, I switched out for DK because I get my DK gauge.
Right.
I had Shelly reach out to me and said about your socks when you're using the mohair with fingering.
Yeah.
She goes, go one step further and take like a nail cleaning brush or a toothbrush and brush the inside of your mohair saw. You should see how fluffy it makes it.
So mine are garbage.
Yours are garbage.
Okay, that is so funny you say that because Petiteknit, I just saw Petiteknit's Instagram doing this exact thing, fluffing up. She has some kind of little brush in her shop, branded, that looks like a soft bristled brush, and it's specifically to fluff up your mohair.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
I just saw that.
That's so funny.
Just a sec.
I
Hold the
use,
phone.
you know those white little 3-inch by 1-inch brushes with the little handle that we have at our sink underneath for scrubbing under our nails or whatever?
Okay.
That's what I use. I'm sure it's too...
Okay, look, it's literally called the Mohair brush. I feel like we need to get some.
Yeah.
Look, and that's what it's all about. It comes in a cute little...
It changed the whole texture of your garment. It pulls the mohair from between the stitches. It comes out.
And if you're someone that knits with mohair a lot, which we do...
That's really...
And you
really,
don't want to use something too hard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, super cool. That's so funny you mentioned that because I just saw that.
Yeah.
I actually think Petiteknit's got a bunch of care style.
I love that.
Things.
Well, she's her whole...
What about Coco Knits? They might
It's a whole
have something like
brand
this.
and lifestyle that she's created an amazing aesthetic and designs and now these items to go with it.
Totally.
It's beautiful.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I cast on a sock, like when you talk about a long time project.
Yes.
I cast on a sock for us before we went to Flock in Seattle in August.
Right.
I'm still not done that pair of socks.
Well, you should be embarrassed.
But I'm so embarrassed. It is in my Flock project bag, my merch. This is what I buy at every single show we go to. I always buy. I buy the project bag, the drawstring.
Yeah.
It's usually...
Amber bought that for us.
Amber did. But I always collect them.
Yes.
you know? So whatever that means. And they're great keepsakes. And they're usually like, I don't know. I love looking back on them. I have a whole bunch.
I agree.
So the yarns I used, I decided to, this is basically yarn that was wound up because I was being really lazy. We're getting ready to go. What am I going to take? I had a ball of Frankie Grey Fibres ballet slipper, and I had a ball of Gauge dyeworks all together now. And I thought that might be really, really cool done up in stripes. So
agree.
here's the tag for the Gauge. It's called All Together Now, and this is the merino twist fingering. They're classic. So you can get different styles of her dye, but this is the classic that makes the socks. So I cast on with the ribbing with the pink, and then I just started doing stripes. So these are 6 rounds stripes, and All Together Now is this variegated fade yarn. Like it fades through a rainbow kind of irregularly, I guess. Can't even begin to imagine how they would dye something like that. So 6 rounds of each color for the leg, heel flap and gusset, and then 3 rounds of each color for the foot. And then I ended up finishing the toe with the All Together Now. So these are going to be totally mismatched socks, but
I feel like this should be a pattern.
sure. But like, look how cool it's going to be. It's going to be mismatched rainbow.
God, I love these.
So I don't really know what it's going to look like totally. It's kind of a bit of an adventure because you don't really know what colors are coming next. But I do know my color family coming next is like pinks and oranges and yellows. And this is truly one of my all-time favorite yarn colors all together now.
A shorty pair of just solid knitting of this.
And I knit myself, I should have brought him a pair of Galliano socks in these, I'm pretty sure. So I just love it. I could knit a whole bunch of stuff in this color. It's one of the ones that really sings to me and calls my name. And in my little project bag, I have a On the Go by Thread and Maple. This is their dark navy.
Oh, I never thought of putting that in there.
Yeah. So it is phenomenal by itself. It comes with it's got a zipper with stitch markers, and it's got magnet closure.
Yep.
And you get these really sharp, tiny scissors and 2 darning needles, and it comes with a little flap. I know this might be like redundant for some people because we've talked about it before, but I love it so much, and I'm just going to share it again. So this little flap, you can tuck in, like, see there, I've cut a tape measure. So I've kind of got a tape measure for measuring, you know, it's not super great, but it's good enough. It's good enough. And I tuck in a Cocoa Knits cable needle.
Yeah.
And also one of these little stitch fixer things. They're just super handy. Tuck it in there. Hey, Linda, you need one.
It's so good.
So I have a few of these. I have to say, this is one of the tools that I just think is incredible. Way more than 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so practical and so handy. And so they have lots of colors available, and sometimes they do like specific, like a Lola Bean one. I have one somewhere. So anyway.
Star, thank you for being here. You're fast.
Is she gone? Thank you.
No, she's still here.
Oh, okay.
But her fast little fingers keep up with everything we're talking about with people
truly,
looking back.
You guys are the best.
Also, somebody just said they couldn't find where on our Instagram was the talk.
Oh yeah.
The inclusive. It's on our feed. And it looks like
It looks like this. Jodi's pink sweater.
It's a video, so it captures the first screen.
Yeah, we didn't. Anyway, you'll see the little.
Can you change that?
Video thing there. I don't know. I don't want to screw around with it. I'm afraid I'll lose it. But that one there with Jodi in the pink sweater reaching up. If you read the comment, I don't know, it says it's tags Indigo Dragonfly, and we talk about Kim a little bit. So it's 43 minutes, and it's definitely there.
Yeah.
So if you get a sec or more, I think
39 minutes worth.
I think you will love it.
Okay, so this I've talked about before, you guys. And I can't quite remember. This is the Romo sweater by Han Rimmen.
You have talked
She's
about
a
this before?
Danish, where I thought I did, or maybe I didn't because
Let's
I
see.
wanted to wait to see. I found the English version.
Holy moly, that's awesome.
It is, I believe, DK held with Mohair. Hello.
Wow, look at that.
It's Han, Hanne, Rimmen.dk. That's her website. It's in Danish, you guys, but if you go to the little menu here at the top, you're going to,
On her website?
on
Okay.
her website. And there's a drop-down menu for English patterns, and then you're going to find it here. But isn't this version
It's
amazing?
very pretty.
I want the
very,
exact
very
same
pretty.
sweater
Okay, cast it on.
with like orange. It's got clementine, hibiscus, and maybe midnight. How good is that?
You don't think that's a purple?
Could be indigo, maybe.
Indigo would be amazing.
That's an amazing sweater. I've seen it with
Or
neutrals.
black cherry
Yeah.
would be really good with those colors.
You know what I like to do, and I've talked about this, we've talked about this before, follow the hashtag for
Yes.
the sweater.
I love doing that.
Because then just random people you don't follow, and I'm going to show you, these are all the people who end up tagging their projects.
Yeah, you could see all these versions.
Like, look at all these beautiful neutrals if brights aren't your thing.
And especially for a colorwork sweater, when you're blending, 3 or 4 colors, that can get a little bit scary or overwhelming, really.
Look at that one.
Yeah, that's stunning. All the
So-
interpretations, it can help you visualize something for yourself. And I
Yeah.
do. I love that. I love that, Jode.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. Yeah, I love it.
I do have one more project.
Good. Show it.
Can I just preface this by saying, don't be jealous.
Oh, is it going to be another one of those?
Jody,
Did you just cast it on?
yes, on the weekend. And it was actually something I found surprisingly addictive. Like, I would wish I had more time to just keep knitting.
Are you knitting a Dicky?
I'm knitting a Dicky. No, nobody calls it a Dicky. It's a collar.
Let's call it what it is.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it is fabulous. Listen, this is beautiful.
I know. I
Still
know.
a Dicky.
In your world, maybe.
It's really
this is
pretty.
the Coffee Run Collar by Samantha Garren, and I think it came out last year. I remember just like loving it instantly,
I remember that too.
right? And then we had it was like the great Dicky debate, and is it a Dicky, and would I wear a Dicky? And ultimately, whatever. There's so many actually patterns that are like this, that are sort of almost like a panel, and some of them are really short and some of them are really long, but this one really caught my eye. I just love the texture, and I love the 1x1 rib, and I loved how long it is.
It's very long, this one.
And I bought a kit. It came out. It was done in Sonder Yarn did kits, and I was like, I'm buying a kit
Really?
in a very different color for me. I went way outside of my box, and I chose.
Is it the exact same color?
It's
as the
Sleeping
sweater?
Beauty. It is this color.
Did you mean to?
No.
Oh, that's so
That's just
funny.
how much I love it.
Oh,
I
it's
love it.
so good.
You guys, this has been really fun. Really, really fun. So
Okay.
I did mess up already. So the yarn you use is fingering weight. So it's Sunday morning 4-ply and Halo Mohair.
Okay.
So I just thought, oh, obviously you hold them together. I did not obviously read the pattern very well. This ribbing, I think, is supposed to be just the Sunday morning held double.
Oh, no one's going to know.
That no one's going to know.
No.
And it's okay. I'm more than happy with that. I think I do have another skein of this mohair, so if I run out, I'm covered. It's no big deal. But you start this using an alternating cable cast on, which is stretchy
Boy, is that ever.
and pretty. I'm thinking
Had you done it before?
Hat. Yes, I have. But I
Gotta write
never
that down.
but I never thought to myself, and I actually really love doing it. It's a knitted cast on. It's very simple, super simple. But
Okay.
if the alternating part of it is you do a knitted and then a purl and then a knit and a purl. So
Oh.
it gives you the start of that 1 by 1 rib.
That is beautiful.
It's actually a gorgeous, gorgeous look. It doesn't have that. And let me tell you, I use longtail cast down for everything.
Yeah, me too.
I think it looks great, but this was
That
really
looks spectacular.
spectacular, right?
Good for socks.
Yeah. And
Okay,
simple.
you guys. I'm gonna try it.
Simple. You'll love it. So we've got some 1 by 1 ribbing, and there's like a stitch marker here and a stitch marker here, so that you know. So
Yeah.
it's really intuitive, right?
you're
You do
knitting
your
the-
1 by 1 rib until you hit the stitch
Oh,
marker,
yeah.
and then it's pattern in the middle. And this pattern was like so easy to memorize, and it's such a lovely, it's really kind of like a broken type of rib. Like you break it a little bit and alternate. You'll
It was-
see.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
And it's the same thing all the way through.
It was mentioned that that's a beautiful cast on for a 2 by 2 as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. But once you get up to that point, then you get to do some fun things and do a little bit of neckline shaping, just like a sweater. I love projects that have like small goals, kind of, right? Like you do, okay, I'll do this little bit of pattern and I'm not going to be bored because now I'm going to put some stitches on hold and I'm going to bind off some
Yeah.
stitches and then I'm going to work down. And then you work down and then you do a little bit of a cast on here and Bob's your uncle, off you go. You're doing the same pattern again. So now it's just, you could do this pattern to the end, but it's very
How far is this
rhythmic.
going to go?
So this is 3 repeats of the pattern on the back and she suggests 6 on the front.
Are you going to do that?
Yeah. I mean, my plan is to do the pattern as it's written, but then you've still got ribbing, a few inches
Okay.
of ribbing.
I see how she styled it.
This is how you wear a Dicky. Anyway, it's quite far down your, like cozy on your, like when in your coat.
When and how will you wear it?
I don't care for that
I'm just truly.
insinuation. Jodi, anytime you would wear a cowl, I would have worn this under my vest.
Under what? Oh, yes. Okay, good. I
Like,
see what you mean. Yeah,
Anytime I want to be
okay.
warm, am I going to wear it by itself? No, never. I'm hoping to wear this a lot in July.
No, listen. Listen. I'm only saying it because I want to say Dicky 100 times.
I know
today.
you do.
But we said when we saw how that was so gorgeously styled
Yeah.
under her coat, it is a stunning
Listen,
accessory.
I loved it, and I look at it now, and I still love it. So,
She's knit hers way longer than 6 repeats.
well, I can look.
Because
I'll
that
look.
would be like here.
What do you mean? Yeah, I'll count it on. Let me count it on the picture.
What's 1 repeat?
Okay, not this little part at the top, but a long and a short. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, she has.
I know nothing.
Yeah.
It just.
But plus blocking, Jode.
How cute is that?
I thought so.
But then, yeah, I love it.
I thought so, and I love fingering weight and mohair.
I'm picturing you walking around with this without a coat.
No, no,
Okay.
I would not wear it like
okay.
that.
Okay. Love. Yes.
For me personally, I would not.
Yeah. Some people do.
That's more like a bib kind of thing. I mean, maybe when I want to I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm picturing wearing it always just under my coat.
Mm.
Or my, mandatory puffy vest in places that are cold.
This is reminiscent. Tracie.
I'm loving, of course I love the yarn.
I love it so much.
Sonder yarn is, her colors are just, again, so beautiful. I love this color. Is it brown? Is it pink? Like it's both. I think it's a really nice, neutrally kind of color. It's
That's
definitely
amazing.
one of my favorite colors. So super fun. And I was giggling as I'm casting it on, and I was like, here we go. We're back into the Dicky conversation.
I'm just looking.
I have to try it.
This Romo sweater is available on Ravelry.
Awesome. Yeah. The color
And
looks
it's my
beautiful.
understanding by looking at this, and I'm sure I'll be corrected, that this is a pattern that would be considered size inclusive. So
Awesome.
we're happy to say that. What I wanted to say with this is Petite Knitter just came out with that it reminded me of this, but it's wider and
The
it just
petite knitter?
no
Petiteknit.
Petite
A
knit.
vest.
Yes,
Yes,
with the
I saw
button on the
that.
side.
I like that too.
Okay.
Here's the thing I wonder. Like, it's a mohair vest with a big turtleneck.
Yeah.
So you have to be, you got something lighter underneath it, but a really big turtleneck. Like, my arms are going to be, if it's that cold, are my arms cold, but I've got this big turtleneck on?
No.
I love the look of it. It's got buttons on the side.
Sometimes it's just cozy to wear something around here.
Right.
Right? Our friend Vincent came out with a pattern today, and it's a hat.
He did?
Yep, just today. It's called the Zania hat.
Okay, awesome.
And it's knit in worsted, and it's Madeline Tosh. It's really... cable lovers, unite.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it.
I'm going to click on the...
I love cables.
I'm going to click on this, but
Oh,
look
wow.
at that.
Don't
Isn't
you
that
love a good
beautiful?
texture? Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
But I wanted to show you guys the Petiteknit had a new sweater come out that's called the Lulu Slipover, and it's chunky.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
That thing that we were talking about?
Yeah, it just came out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it looks super cozy.
The Lulu Slipover, Lulu.
Maybe it'll be one of those things that are good for, like, menopausal people. Like, you're not overheating
Well,
because your arms are...
I had a vest on today, and then I took it off.
Yeah.
But I agree. We had talked about that before, where if you're someone who gets really warm, and yes, wool is temperature regulating, but when you're having hot flashes and stuff, it doesn't feel so regulating.
Well, and didn't your vest that you knit was her pattern?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you loved that. Yes, it was fingering and mohair,
But it was a vest.
but it did not overheat you because of the style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I always said I wanted to knit that pattern too, and I just haven't yet. I knit a different one of her vests.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great pattern.
Yeah,
See?
both, all of them.
We're
Well,
not,
listen,
we're not mean to
listen.
petite knitter.
if you have a YouTube channel, don't believe everything in the comments. Just because someone says it does not mean it's true.
Look at this. Brand new today, just released.
Oh, I love
Mitten
this.
cardigan.
It's stunning.
And it is that it switches between fingering stripe and mohair held single
It's actually
stripe.
sport.
Oh,
It's
this one's
La
sport.
Bien-Aimée sport. But yeah, sport and lace weight mohair.
And then it gives you that gauzy feeling that Elton pullover gave, or the cardigan. There's a few now, right, in this line.
It's gorgeous.
It's so pretty. It's
Yes.
that little extra layer that just feels like it completes an outfit, and it's not too hot.
I would love to knit something long like that.
It's beautiful.
Or I'd love to wear something long like that.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Okay, you guys. On to the yarn portion of the program.
Yeah, Jode, I'm done. That's my knitting for this time. Next time, I'll be wearing my Dicky. It will be finished. You guys, that knits up so fast.
Yeah, it's small.
It's a small project. You're working on a small panel of stitches.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's very repetitive and easy to remember. And I loved the shaping. Like, I couldn't wait to get to that part where you were just... And it was also very intuitive. Okay, but you finish the body, and then you have 6 inches of 1x1 rib, which is also...
Is that what? The front has more ribbing?
No, 3 inches at the bottom, but then you pick up the neckline for the collar, like the 6 inches of that. So I hope I'm done.
But thankfully, think about it this way. It's only this wide
Right.
of ribbing.
And honestly, it'll be on just like a 16-inch circular. I love knitting 1x1 rib, and then I get to do the Italian sewn bind off, which I also love.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that project.
Okay, you guys. Renee of Spun Right Round,
Yes.
the speckle guru, did a line that was called Kitty Couture.
Oh, that's
No,
some good looking
I think I'm
speckles.
making this up.
Did you just dream it?
This one is called Smitten Kitten. You can order these. It comes on DK and fingering, but this is Jubilee
That's gorgeous.
And then this one is called Smitten Kitten.
They're both so
Aren't they going to make
pretty.
beautiful
Yes.
variegated socks?
Yes. Oh, that's what you're doing with them? Good idea.
She had a little collection, and it was called Cat Collection? Just a minute. I'm going to look at it. But it wasn't Cat's Meow. Thank you so much,
Star.
It wasn't Cat Coloring Collection, but
Just
it was
inspired.
based on inspired. But how fun is this?
I love everything happening right there.
Mm-hmm. So we love her. That arrived. That was a nice, fun surprise in the mail.
I was looking because you know what? I've been enjoying hand knitting my socks so much. I crank a lot of socks but I really have been loving knitting
Really?
loving it so much.
Vanilla.
Well, that stripe pair that I'm doing,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So it is totally just stockinette. It's just self-striping your own thing, but I'm enjoying it so much. Like I basically knit a whole sock since last time. Like I knit a whole foot and a whole leg.
And your other stuff you've knit.
I know. Like I was just cruising along. Loved it. So then I'm looking in my stash thinking, what's going to be my next pair of socks? And I wanted to share this color again because I love it so much. I came across it. It is the Tofino Knit Company, who they are out, I believe, on Vancouver Island. I'm still kicking myself. When we went to Knit City in September, I meant to buy some of their yarn. So I have to go back and get more. But this color is called Beach Comber. And it's kind of a warm linen-y with all these amazing speckles.
That's really stunning.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
I love it. I just came across it and thought, oh my gosh. So I think I need to make socks in this.
This will always be my favorite place to go with yarn. Is these neutral backgrounds with tons of speckles.
That's so pretty.
That's how I started buying it. It's my favorite.
Totally. So you could hold it double and make a worsted weight hat. You could make mittens. You could hold there's so much possibility with one speckled skein like this.
Fingering is so versatile that way.
Yeah.
You can layer it with other strands.
Totally.
I mean, anything you can, but like fingering, you have more room to play to get the weight of fabric we like.
Yeah, I agree totally. Oh, stop it. What the heck?
I mean,
anyway,
never by itself. There was a pattern I was looking at.
so beautiful.
And I looked, I said, light fingering. I said, pass.
I don't really want to go lighter than that
Yeah.
myself without holding it triple. That's not true because I just knit lace weight Mayak, but I did hold it double to be more like a
Quadruple.
heavy sport weight because it was quite fluffy. That is so beautiful. I saw that. Isn't that such a beautiful pattern?
The Polino pullover by Teti Lutzak. Oh, so Scandinavian.
I love
Inspired.
that.
Like the flowers. This is like the top of a flower cut sort of in half, and then the stems, and then it's the opposite way.
It reminds me of like Orla Keeley
Yes.
prints, which I could not love those anymore. I think they're so beautiful. This sweater is just awesome. It's totally calling my name. I did see this come out.
This is beautiful. Knit in woolly wool. Not too, like, woolly wool. This
Is it DK?
sport.
Ellie is saying hi to the mailman, I'm pretty sure. So annoying.
This is sport.
Oh, it's sport. Okay.
This was so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they heard it. Haha, double. Yeah, I love it so much. Right now, there's a code.
What's double?
It said use code FRESH START at checkout to get 20% off. No, never mind. That's my next pattern. But this is sport.
Okay.
Yeah, gorgeous.
So lots of times you can get gauge
DK.
with a fingering or knit a smaller size, like anyway.
Yeah.
But if I had DK, I might swatch with that and then choose a smaller size in the pattern. And
Yeah.
So I wonder why things don't fit the way I want
No,
them to.
I
But
don't
I'll be
wonder.
honest. I'll be honest. That works for me.
Yes.
So far, I've been very lucky that has worked.
Yeah.
But that's swatching.
I still haven't pulled the trigger and cast on a sweater.
Okay.
This is 24 stitches. The
Oh, yeah.
gauge.
24 stitches. I mean, so sport weight. There's lots of great sport weight yarns.
But without getting into it,
I bet you I could do that with fingering.
You could do a swatch that you like out of a DK, measure it and do the math and find the size you want in it.
Yeah. If you wanted to use something from your stash or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what yarn was used in that.
Rauma.
Oh, yeah, Rauma Phenol. That's beautiful wool. And
Yeah.
it is sport weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's right. Sport weight. Love it. Okay, one more, last one. Melanie Berg.
I love this.
You may have heard about her.
Maybe.
This one, use the code Fresh Start, all one word, at checkout to enjoy 20% off the Stripalicious through January 28th.
Okay. This goes... Go ahead. Sorry.
This caught my eye. I don't know if you guys can see up here, but this middle section has got the bolder, thicker stripes. This middle section here, and then each end has the smaller striping section. It's an elongated triangle shawl. It's narrower. It's not a really deep triangle in the middle, but then it fans out to a narrow tip at both ends. Beautifully.
You can double wrap it like this.
Beautiful and easy.
With those long
Love it.
ends, right? Yeah.
Easy to wear. This is a
Very.
very easy to wear. This caught my eye because all of us have mini skeins. Whoever had countdown minis that they were opening in December, this is such a beautiful shawl to incorporate those minis in.
Totally. This pattern was designed, this is what I wanted to talk about too, in a brand new yarn. So this is designed in Fibre Gentili, which is a new yarn that just came out with the team from Mayak. They've started a new company that's going to focus on Mediterranean sheep breeds. So Mayak has all the beautiful yak from Tibet, and they process in Italy, and we know them for all of those yarns. But this is a new baby. It just Monday you can buy. You can go to their launch site. It's fantastic, and it's this Mediterranean sheep breeds, but it's also hand dyed by Liz of Trey Liz. So an indie dyer that we know, have known over the years.
Yes.
She is in Greece, lives in Greece, I believe, born in Greece. So she is a Mediterranean hand dyer, dyeing this Mediterranean line of yarn.
So Paola thought, because you might be asking, why do they have it under a different name, a different everything? Paola thought because it's not yak, and my yak is also obviously tailored towards that. They wanted to have a different division, but it's all under the same umbrella. That is Paola. Everything Paola.
Totally. So if you go to So if you go to their website, you'll see what it's all about. If you go to their Instagram, give them a follow so that you can see what they're up to. You can see some videos on there from Andrea and Paola and Liz telling you all about what they've been doing. And I believe you're able to, you are. It will be at the Mayak booth in Vogue Knitting Live, unless they have their own booth. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think they were going to be. I can't imagine they'll be in a different booth, but that's to be determined.
But it's at Vogue. So if you want to go check it out, if you want to go squish it and feel it and see the beautiful hand dyed with the other colors too. Like, I think I'm dying to see it in person. I definitely have to order some. Yeah. So that's wonderful. And congratulations. It's a big deal to launch a new
It is a big
yarn.
deal.
I'm sure this has been in the works for so long.
That's what keeps me so excited, is like every little nook and turn, there's something so exciting happening.
Totally.
New patterns and new yarns and new festivals and all that.
Listen, and I don't really want to reference this a lot, but I do want to say we will always wish the best for people. We will always hope We will be that person behind you, cheerleading you, hoping that you do your very, very best and that everything is
Yeah.
great. That is truly who we are and what we love to do. And that's not going to change. So that's all.
She's a French indie dyer.
French
who lives
indie
in
dyer.
Greece.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that.
Perfect.
So exciting. But yes, she does live in Greece. So I didn't know she was French. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm excited. That's a really cool thing. Now I really have FOMO about Vogue. The more I think about it, you know.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. Always. Do I want to be there? No. But do I want to be there? Yes.
If I could teleport myself.
Yes. Yes and no. Okay. I was looking for stitch markers.
We keep saying maybe next year. We just have to do it.
Yeah. Celebrity Sighting is the name of the Etsy store.
Cute.
Celebrity Sightings.
Oh, Jodi, that's so cute.
This maker has a bazillion fun sets of progress keepers. I call these progress keepers because they've got the I'm going to show you. They've got the hinged opening that you can. These work great for crochet.
Yeah.
These work great for progress. These work great for like right side of fabric.
And easy to use, right?
Super easy to use. So you guys just saw that quickly about this cat. Little bit of black and white cat stitch markers. I'm sure I got one of everything that had a cat. I'm the worst. Look at these sets.
You guys want to sell anything for Jodi? Slap a cat on it.
I would love that. Oh my God, look
Jodi,
at these.
these are super cute though. These are super cute.
Cats in teacups.
Adorable.
But not only just cats, you guys. Everything you're interested in.
Like
She
so
has
many
themey.
themes. That's awesome.
Themey. So I ordered these two.
Those are cute. I love those.
This is from a different company.
Okay.
I don't want to get it mixed up. This was another Etsy store.
Okay.
This is called Happy Day Knitting. Thank you for choosing us. Look at how fun these are.
Yeah, I love a good light bulb stitch marker for the same thing, like a progress stitch keeper, easy to use, but I love those fun colors.
Aren't they fun?
Yes, I love, listen, I have more stitch markers than I will need ever, but I still love collecting them. Love them.
Yeah, and she got a little note. Thank you for supporting us. Anyway,
That's so nice.
Love my new stitch markers.
Jodi, me too.
The only thing I have left, you guys, is Frankie Grey. Do you have more? Do you have yarn to
I
show?
have one. I want to show this book that I bought a little while ago.
Good.
And then I'm done.
We got to up our yarn purchasing game. I feel like...
Well, this is sort of why I showed this Tofino yarn, because
Yeah.
when I came across it in my cubby, I was like, oh, I love this so much. So, I mean, yes, I bought it, or it came into my stash, but, you know, that was a long time ago.
We could
It deserves
revisit
another
it.
moment.
Yeah,
I totally agree. Okay, so the wonderful Arona of Buku, who we just love. And we sort of came to know through Punch Needle. You know, if you want a creative Instagram to follow, she's also got a YouTube channel where she shows a lot of great videos for how she does things. I have bought so many items from her shop that she makes these patchwork pieces as part of the bag, the pouch, whatever that may be. And really, she and I think her mom did a lot of making too. They, like, every little scrap was a treasure. They did not waste anything. And they would put these tiny, tiny pieces of often naturally dyed linen.
Yeah.
And they would create, look at those curves and shapes.
Amazing.
This book is so wonderful. It is, again, just super inspiring. And all the projects in here, I remember seeing on Arona's Instagram and thinking, oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. She did this stamping of some linen.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And of course she makes it look so simple. And
Probably made the stamps.
Truly, it made the stamps.
Yeah.
And it truly is simple. But then, so here's the steps. Stamp that fabric, dry that fabric, and I believe there's a heat setting thing where you take the iron and you iron it really well on both sides. Then she rips the fabric into like 1 centimeter or 1.5 centimeter, whatever, widths. Then she pins a whole bunch out as like a warp or whatever on a weaving. Then she weaves it all together. That's what it ends up being.
That's beautiful.
I remember this project so...
Do you?
Yes. Yes. So I just find her work so inspiring. Yeah, the bag in here was so good. Oh my gosh. We could do this. We can do this.
Yeah.
She's got it all in step by step for us. I mean, there's some more complicated projects. There's some more simple projects. But you can... This is a little squeeze. It's got the little bracket that you squeeze open.
Coin purse kind
and
of
it can be, if you make it longer, it can be for your DPNs or your glasses. Or it can be for lipstick in your purse or stitch mark. Like literally a million and
That's
one
a beautiful
uses.
book.
It's a great book.
I can only imagine the work went into this book.
Yes.
The step by steps and the work. Wow.
Yes. I mean, I just love, she's got a book on embroidery. She's got a book on punch needle.
Well, we took the punch needle course from her and loved it.
Yeah. She just makes, I think she makes creativity seem so accessible, right? She's just such a creative person. And she takes simple, sometimes not so simple ideas, but makes us think we can do the same thing too. So we both just love her work. There is a big stack of some fabric that she's dyed, and she shows you how, you can start just making these little tiny pieces. And she's got a fabric line. She's had more than one, but I think a new one came out December or January. Like she's designed a collection of fabric, but we can sew whatever we want with it. So I love her stuff. And this patchwork book to me was just like, you know what, I think that woven pillow to me.
Georgia, hi. We're podcasting.
Auntie made thrum mittens, but they're not for you.
What?
I know.
Do you love them?
I love
Wait till you see them. They're way nicer than your mom made.
You're not wrong.
Beautiful, Arona.
It's a great book.
Congratulations. So, beautiful.
I know you can buy this. Well, go check it out on our website. Maybe your local yarn shop has it. Maybe the bookstore has it. I do find her books at the bookstore sometimes.
Like I've seen.
Yeah, so cool. But of course, there's a million places to get it. Jodi.
Should we do show and tell from Frankie Grey Fiber?
I would love to.
What we've been up to?
I would love to.
This was our last week speckle day.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Isn't this so good?
Oh, wow.
So this one, I'm just going to show you. Jordan pulled a couple of colors to go with each one, just to give you a little bit of color inspo. This time of year, we're craving a little bit of brights and neons. We're not hoping spring comes, but we're ready for some color.
I feel you there.
This is called Wild Child. It's got a really nice balance between some really deep, moody teals and some bright neons and pinks.
Yes.
So pretty. What we've suggested would be amazing with it is either hibiscus and siren. Pulls off that teal, and there's a million colors for this one that it'll go with, but these are really a great starting point.
I have some still sweater laundry to do. And one of the ones is the speckled love note. Remember we need a love note in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And that just makes me think that speckle would make the cutest love note or slipover or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, these two are kind of like fraternal twins. Is that the one that aren't identical? Yeah. One's identical, of course. So this one is called XOXO, and it's got all our favorite pinks and purples and everything
love
in
it.
between, but it also has a really gorgeous red speckle. You can see it peeking there. So that's,
Okay, that stripy sock that I'm knitting.
yeah,
Wouldn't that be so
Yeah.
fun like this?
it really would. Any of those amazing one skeins that we have that are just treasure,
I mean,
and
you're
going with a neutral, and then an on the vine that it goes with.
Oh,
And then this one is Hugs and Kisses. It doesn't have the red, and it's, I don't want to say softer because it's super bright and fun, but it's got some more like, some like lavender through it. And it's paired right here with Mayflowers.
I could be on a game show. Guess that Frankie Grey color.
Yeah. Yes, you could.
I think I would
Oh.
do okay.
This one was a re-dye, but you love this. This is called Kissing Booth.
I love Kissing Booth.
Yeah.
I
Kissing Booth
love
is
that
really
minty
good.
green with that hot coral in there. That's so pretty.
It's got all of that. When this is caked up and knit, it's so stunning. We've paired it here with Lollipop and our really pretty cobalt blue. But there's a little bit of neons in there. There's some beautiful highlighter yellow. There's some specks of like what we would say maybe Kate's green would look really beautiful with.
That's screaming like spring to me. Really, really. Very fresh.
This one, oh, you guys, we brought back a few OGs. This one is Unicat.
Oh my gosh, I
This
love.
is kind of evolved, but it's kind of the same. So it's got tons of pinks. It's got some really soft blue in there, and it's got a lavender. But then when you put these neons on top, it kind of just makes this amazing all over speckled,
Oh my
tonal,
gosh, I love it.
variegated. Hello Yellow. It's a soft neon. And Lucky Lavender, which is a beautiful mauvey lavender.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
But like, look, it's got like corals. It's got every color under the rainbow in this. It is so pretty. Okay, next. Sourpuss. Sourpuss is like Unicat's little sister. It just totally muted.
You could fade.
You could fade it. It doesn't have the dark speckle, and it's just very much lighter strength.
Yeah.
But we've paired it here with Lilac Ice, and we've paired it with highlighter. No, Lemonhead. But it's got really soft neons, but with pops of the really bright neons
I
in
love
there.
that.
Pinks, neons. This is Intergalactic. Isn't that pretty? Hot pink. Bright, bright grassy green. Orange, like a neon orange is on there. And then here is Hottest Pink and Atomic.
So, like when you put those together like that, that's so like 80s, but I love it. But the speckles on that yarn are unbelievable.
That's a really fun one.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, this is another one of our, it's called Love Letter. It was taken from a photo inspiration. It's another one of our Valentine inspired colorways. And it's the softest pink with speckles of red, like a cherry red, a spearmint, and then a really soft green, but it's quite pretty.
It is super pretty.
I
I love it with, is that with Whisper?
Sorry.
I love
Sorry.
it with Whisper.
Whisper and Big Apple.
Listen, Whisper and Big Apple, I'm totally obsessed.
Well, pink
Together, stripes.
This was last year part of our Valentine. This is called Conversation Heart, and it is the softest, palest rainbow of colors. But then over top, it's got a really pretty pink speckle.
It's very pretty.
We've paired it with Sky High and Blush. But you could have Hello Yellow if you like the yellows to go with this. There's lots of other colors you can pull from it. Some really soft oranges. Neon coral would
So
be beautiful.
Somebody said they're overwhelmed trying to pick colors for a sweater. Would you guys offer a like to help?
We always
So send an
yes.
email.
Send an email. Let us know what you're wanting to knit.
Let us know the colors.
I don't.
Not us. You.
I don't like to tell people how much yarn. I always suggest check your pattern and measure your size.
Right.
But we would love to help you pick out. We've done lots of custom. We've had a couple of brides reach out about some wedding knits that they wanted more colors to their wedding.
Wow.
We've had two people do that. You guys, this is called Let's Split Up Gang. This is Scooby-Doo inspired. This has got every color speckle from our favorite Scooby-Doo gang. And we've paired it with Jelly Bean and Pop Rocks. This is kind of our updated version. There's one that's like what we interpreted spot on, but this is kind of like the bright version.
Yeah. It reminds me of like a sherbet, like a counter of, you know, like all the different colors of sherbet would be like the green and the orange and the pink.
This is called Birchwood. It's got like navy and chestnut and silvers all together. We've paired it with gingerbread, and we've also paired it with slate blue.
So good.
It would also be really beautiful with midnight. Indigo would be really pretty. Parchment.
That's gorgeous.
We just have a couple more. We got through a lot of speckles this past week.
That's awesome, Jodi. How fun.
This is a brand new color. I can't be more obsessed with this color. This is called Sunkissed. I couldn't stop looking at it in the pan.
Don't you love orange and pink together?
Yes. So this is orange and pink and a little bit of yellow and with some speckles over top. And it just turned out so beautiful. This is Jordan's color. This is pretty in pink.
Done.
And then cantaloupe.
So good.
Right?
Really, really fun and summery. Like it screams warm weather.
And then this last one is one we had ages and ages ago, and it's called Swan Lake. It's very blue, very soft blue, and it's got a really pretty periwinkle kind of iris purple, but it's got a slimy dark green.
I love it.
So we've paired it with grasshopper and lavender haze.
That'd be such a good shawl. Like those
Right?
three skein. Yeah. Love it.
So that's it.
Or that shift cowl by Andrea Mowry where you're always slipping stitches, like in blending colors. Something like that would be really, really good. Really, really good. Yeah, that's it for me, Jode.
Okay.
It's been awesome.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Great episode.
I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. 5 stars.
Oh,
right
you
now.
guys.
I'm going to a movie today.
Nice. What are you going to go see?
The Beekeeper.
Oh, yeah. We want to see that.
Yeah.
We went to go see Ferrari, which we really liked. Kind of
Okay.
Yeah, we really liked it. It was like a car-based movie, but also the family and
I love those.
yeah, I loved it. I thought Adam Driver, Penelope Cruz, I thought everybody was phenomenal. The Oscar race is on. All the nominations came out. So now I feel like I have a few movies I need to see before the Oscars. Just because I really haven't seen all that many, I don't think.
And Greta or Barbie
I
worked.
know.
I can't even believe that. And Ken. And you know what? Just all the amazing men standing behind these amazing women
I looked
is
up
inspiring.
totally, but I also looked up the Greta Gerwig. So I looked it up. Like I was like, what? Because I loved. She did that movie Lady Bird. She directed that, and she was nominated, I believe, for that movie.
I loved Lady Bird.
How much did you love that?
Yes.
So there was a little blip beside that said she was one of only 5 women at the time to have ever been nominated for Best Director.
Yes.
So that's how there's something messed up that there's that many women directing now and nobody's getting nominated. What? It's not for lack of amazing movies, I don't think.
I said to Jordan, I can't imagine being in that profession because women have been standing up for equal pay and equal jobs for so long now and just not get like treading water and not getting anywhere.
I mean, nobody, no,
Small, tiny steps.
I don't know. I don't know the facts about, was it the most grossing movie ever?
Yes. Something like that. Something like that.
Anyway, it's just really super disappointing.
I don't get, is it an old boys club that
Well,
these Oscar, so I hope, I said to Jordan, I hope in my generation, and there are many amazing women who are making strides, and there's so many other professions or workplaces that have made amazing strides in this subject. But I hope in my lifetime I'm able to be like so proud that we could see the Oscars go from here and have these women not have to fight to be recognized.
Yeah. I actually loved Barbie so much and loved that the culture embraced it so much for what the message was.
It's exactly what the message was about.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. So I do love watching the Oscars. The nominations were a bit of a surprise for sure. I watched The Color Purple.
And?
Loved.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Of course.
I was a teensy bit nervous to watch it because I've read the book and I've loved the first like the original movie. So of course you're just nervous a little bit that
you're hoping that it's amazing.
You're hoping that it's right up there with all those other things. But then you see, Oprah's involved and Quincy Jones and Steven Spielberg, who did the original movie, and all of that. So I loved it.
Okay.
I just thought it was done so well. And Fantasia was so phenomenal. She also wasn't nominated. Anyway.
I know.
I loved That Color Purple.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Hey, Shay.
Aw, hi, Shayla.
So happy you're here.
Anyway, it is what it is, right? There's also a lot of, I mean, it's a big deal in movie world, but
it's everywhere. So
yeah. So anyway, that's it. Well, enjoy your movie. That one will be fun. Jason Statham's always fun.
I'm picking it.
Is Shane, you and Shane are going?
Yeah.
Nice.
He'll go to anything, but I'm not going to pick a rom-com, if I'm honest.
I would. I mean, how rare is it to go to one?
I wanted to see Night Swim. It's a scary movie, but it's only on at 9 at night. Actually, I heard good things about Night Swim. Okay. But whatever. Well, you know what? I will love this. I love Jason.
It'll be fun.
Statham.
Yeah.
His name. And I'm entertained by it too. So
yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, thank you to everybody that popped by today, live or later.
True Love wondered, is it an exact remake of The Color Purple?
It's the same story. It is a musical. It is a reinterpretation. And I think if you look at the logo, like the poster, it even says a bold twist or a bold reimagining or something like that. It was, that's a story that grabs me by the heart, like the minute it starts, right? So, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But everybody interprets things differently. So I never listen to anybody's recommendations about movies. If it looks like something I'm going to like, I go, right?
I'm the same way. Because I'm usually always entertained.
Lots of times I'm going to like something that, people are getting that think it's terrible. So, go to things that appeal to you and we'll see what happens. Hi, Joyce. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're so excited. Next weekend, we're going to be meeting knitters in Canmore.
Come if you're in the area. We would love to say hello.
Totally. Come to the marketplace. Our Sock Talk workshop is part of the retreat. I
knit a sock. I didn't know if we should show you. We'll show you after.
I thought maybe we'd show them later because I have a little stack for the class too. I just thought, I'm not showing it this time. Anyway, it's been a blast. We hope you guys have a great 2 weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks. The timing's perfect.
Perfect.
We'll share a lot from Canmore. We'll do our best to do some documenting and put it on Instagram for you guys. And if you want to hear some amazing sweater fit tips, go to Instagram and check out our video with Kim McBrien Evans. I think you will just, if you're like us, you'll be like the whole time, what?
I wonder if we spun it, not just size inclusive, but like a sweater for every body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, okay, love you.
Anyway, it's all good. Mwah.
Bye.
Take care.